It's a sizzling Saturday and it's time for Racing Post Live. Welcome back. Myself, Dave Orton, back in the chair as ever. Cannot wait. Just a couple of days away now from Royal Ascot coming back. 12,000 fans flooding back to the racecourse for a test event every day. It's going to be rocking there. Get your thoughts in about Royal Ascot to the panel. We love to listen to you out there. You can get involved if you're watching on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe on that. Facebook Live, welcome along. Anything on Twitter, hashtag RP Live. We go to Chester, 140 kicking off there. The tight bends, love a bit of Chester. We'll then be going up to the Knavesmire at York. That'll be our feature race, 340. We'll be culminating there. And we've got listed action and a couple of cracking races in Esher at Sandown as well. Sizzling out there, sizzling in here. Let me tell you, we've been really warm in here, warming each other up. The green room at the moment, well, it's the office basically. There's no one in it. It's got to be the greenest and biggest room in the history. And warming us up right from the start, he's back. Mattie Batch.
How are you, Dave?
Back onto the show. Mattie Batchelor, great to have you with us.
Good to be back.
Primarily known as a jumps jockey, of course, but that would be wrong to pigeonhole you, Mattie, wouldn't it?
Yeah, probably pigeonholed as man of many trades, master of none, probably.
Quite. We've called you the Norman wisdom of racing, all that sort of thing. You've had it all before. But you did have a ride at Royal Ascot, didn't you, Batch?
Many moons ago, yeah. The first...
King Stand?
King Stand, yeah. The first year the Royal Ascot went on the Saturday.
From the Heath, yes, OK.
Yes.
Used to be the Heath Day, didn't it, for all the locals?
Yeah,
it was...
changed to Royal Ascot. The 2 mile 6 race for Luke Dace had 9 stone. Wouldn't do that now. And
2 mile 6 race, basically.
2 mile 6 race in the WAM room. Gary Stevens was in there. All the other flat jockeys, all they were moaning about was that they should have got 2 riding fees because it's like riding 2 races. We've all jumped off at the start. They've all got their toes, their little toenails in the irons. We're coming around the last bend. They all looked as bad as me with their full foot in and
stylish
all
as ever.
tired, yeah.
Yeah. So you know all about the Ascot thing, but you know about the flat. You've had lots of rides on the flat as well, so you'll be talking us all through it. You've got a couple of strong fancies for us as well as ever.
Yeah, all good. So hopefully for a good day.
Brilliant. OK, let's hope his earpiece stays in. Anyone that knows Mattie is a regular, you'll know that struggles with that. But listen, we're going to have some fun today because guess who's back? Betfair have asked for him, so he's in. Paul Kealy joins us back in the show. Keels, great to have you on an RP Live.
Yeah, I'd like to say it's great to be here, but it ain't.
Well, tell us why that is, Keels.
I told them, do not put me on when there's Sandown or Ascot on. And what happens? First one back, Sandown. All my mates are on the Raz. I've got to jump on a train later on. I'll join them in the pub. They'll all be raging and I'll be stone cold sober. I am not happy.
So if you want to have a moan about the Sizzlers in the paper, you know where he'll be. Absolutely. But listen, we've been doing the officials at Sandown a favour, Kills, because you went back on Brigadier Gerard night. I was told it was an enthusiastic crowd that they could just hear you shouting them home.
Well, yeah, I did bang a few home then. Yeah, that was good.
And we tried to save you from Epsom last week and you couldn't even get in, man.
I couldn't even get in. It chucked it down with rain all day. I sat freezing. I walked home from here in the morning doing the morning podcast. I'd got up in the morning for all the sun's out. Went like this, dressed in shorts and t-shirt, got absolutely drenched on the way back to the station. You know what it's like with COVID, don't you? Every single train has every single window open. I'm sitting there like that. Like that. Middle of summer, I sat there absolutely freezing, miserable as sin, and done it in as well.
But you are in a good mood today, and because you think... Well, that's it, that's Keels in a good mood.
As good as I get back, I tell you.
You're doing the trading for Betfair today, which you pretty much just found out. It's not something... You have been on this show before, though, Keels, haven't you? You know the protocol.
Yeah, I've done it before. I know the protocol. I didn't know I was going to get... My punting was going to get in the way of doing this as well.
You're doing the trading for Betfair.
I'm going to do both now. Look, I'm ambidextrous.
Right. And controlling from the Betfair deck. Delighted to say Barry Orr's having a little break before Royal Ascot next week. Marc Hryhorskyj joins us back. Somewhere in Hammersmith he is.
Yeah, still in Hammersmith, but no drones this time, unfortunately, Dave. But yeah, great to be back. We have Royal Ascot all next week, so definitely looking forward to that. If it's anything like Royal Racing Post Live last show last year, certainly something to look forward to. Because I know some people definitely took that quite seriously. But yeah, racing we're covering today, Chester, Sandown and York. It is competitive, but I think I've found some angles, some value selections for the viewers, well showcasing the Betfair Exchange capabilities. I'm confident I can make some profit for Charlie Post and his Cycle for Racing Welfare, which is the charity of choice for this month for the Betfair brand. And obviously it's a great cause, so if anybody does want to donate or is interested in having a look, they can go to justgiving.com/fundraising/Charlie Post. Sitting on around 980 off a 2,000 target at the moment, so we're nearly there. But yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into the action, Dave. Get some winners as well. So looking forward to it.
Yeah, Marc's last appearance on the show saw plenty of profit. So there's a good market coming up in front of your eyes. Marc trades basically, if you're new to the show, welcome along. And Marc will be trading in every single race for charity. We'll be putting up our tips for you as well, for those of you that want to play. Listen, we know it's sizzling out there. You can take us on your phones and your tablets. That's the beauty of Racing Post Live. We're on the social channels. Take us to the barbecue. Take us to the pub. Whatever. Let us know where you are. I think you can sense it might kick off in here today, and it's great to have Marc along with us as well. We'll be looking at everything Royal Ascot. Send in your naps for that. We'll get some time in between the races to give you shout-outs. Have you got a big lay out there? We're going to take a look at the Princess Wales Stakes with Marc in particular. We've got Sportsbooks markets for you as well. Top jockey, we'll be looking at that. Top trainer, let us know. We are set fair. But shall we go to Chester then, Marc? OK, this is a tricky little sprint handicap, isn't it, for 3-year-olds, the 140. Where's the trade going? The initial trade of the day.
Yeah, the first race looking at the 140 here at Chester. I think it's an open looking affair to get things started, but I'm going to take a chance on the outside of the field, Eye of Heaven. Disappointed last time out. Seemed as if something amiss. It's partly pulled up at Bath last week, but as we know, Mark Johnson can quickly bounce them back to form, as we all know. It was impressive winner on debut at Newmarket as a 2-year-old, and had the likes of Andrew Balding's Tactical and Clive Cox's Get It in behind. Actually went off 7-4 favourite for the Norfolk, which the Deerlet won comfortably in the end. I'm willing to forgive that run at Bath. I just think off 84, Franny and Orton booked around Chester, and that early 2-year-old form in the book, I just think this one's overpriced. It's currently trading around 17.5 on the Betfair Exchange, right? So to get things rolling today, we're going to have a £50 straight win on Eye of Heaven at 17.5.
Might get done at 18, yeah.
Yeah, we'll take that.
Yeah, but done between the two. 17.82, it says we've done it.
Not that you'd know how this feels, Kills, but that must have been like falling off a bike. But straight back into the action.
Easy, wasn't it?
An old pro, absolutely
it's funny.
fine.
I've just done my own one on the other one, yeah.
Falling off a horse for you, of course, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I'm a bit disappointed I can't see Keatley's phone. I saw a show the other week, he never kept answering his phone.
Oh, yeah, no, don't get him into that.
It's in my pocket.
The legendary debut of Paul Kealy on
I've
this
just had
show.
a text. I wonder if someone's asking me for a text.
Honestly, Kills' phone should not have made it into the studio. It has. I'll tell you what, the
Should
top
be
class will
bad.
now be shivering.
Should be
It's all right. It's all right.
And now he's put it on the desk. Great, you had to mention that, didn't you, Batch? Great winding me
I've
up.
got to ask Marc, that picture's got to be got after Cheltenham. Because that wouldn't have lasted on the wall after Cheltenham, would it? Surely.
Do you know, I actually
Is it
thought
M by LN? It is, isn't it?
Yeah. I actually bought it a week before. A nice girl called Ellen Kirby. Check out her work online. Nice little plug for her. But yeah, I ordered a painting, and obviously, it all went wrong at Cheltenham, so it was a bit of a
Painting?
jinx.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I could do that.
I know I saved the business quite well, because I know we had that big multiple racking up. So and obviously we had that big cash out. You know, it was racking up. It was all over social media. So yeah, the swinging roundabouts. But I think Inverland will be back this season.
Yeah, over hurdles. Let's move on. It won't just be Kills that's multitasking, of course. There's all been a big thing about drones on the race courses, isn't there? If you go back to you look up, as you can see, Marc is actually flying them at the moment. He's got this. Let's go back. There you go. He does look like a drone pilot, doesn't he? He's like, my drones. Absolutely.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to being in the Racing Post Live studio, because I won't even need the drone, so be that high up. Now maybe I'll need it for Lingfield to get the final furlong pole, nick a few points in running. But yeah,
you can
check it out.
you can see plenty from where we are in the capital, absolutely. So it's Eye of Heaven for Marc in the first, the outside of the lot, going to whack the ball out the park. Tell you what, Kills, it seems like a long time ago that this chap went off 7-4. Was it for the Norfolk, wasn't it? He was a 7-4 favourite for the Norfolk. Yeah. It's all gone wrong since.
Yeah. Mark Johnson's had a few of those that have really sort of, run their eyeballs out first time out and gone off really short of Royal Ascot and then come nowhere. Natalie's Joy was another one, wasn't it? If you remember?
Yes.
You remember
in the Cheshire, yeah.
I think what happens is that sometimes they're really, really fit first time and fitter than people realise, and they don't come on as much as you'd expect them to.
Yeah, this guy, it all looks like about whether he's trained on. If you go back to that debut form where he had very good horses behind him, Tactical, for example, he went on to win, of course, that year at the Royal Meeting last year. He's absolutely chucked him, but it's hard to see that. I can't really see it, Kills.
Yeah, no.
We agree, don't we?
We agree. Well, I mean, the market is telling you, and you don't actually need the market. You don't need the market to tell you, but this is a perfect traders race, really, because you've got a horse in trap 2 on the outside of a slow starter, and nothing is faster from the stalls than this Virginia Plain.
Yeah.
She's going to be a length clear after about 50 yards. You can see her trading at odds on. within a furlong, especially as she's now 2.5. I mean, she was 11-2 early yesterday morning, believe it or not.
Yeah, Rebel Dawn was the original favourite.
That's right. Yeah, I mean, she can't. Sometimes she doesn't see it out, but I mean, she's won at Catterick. Okay, that's not it's not Chester, but I mean, it's a tight left-handed.
It's a front runner's track kills pretty much.
This is it. Like you treat. They call it a dog track, don't they? Because it's that tight. But you treat 5 furlong races like that. Who's going to get on the lead? Who's going to get on the rail? The answer to that is Virginia Plain. She's 5 on to be in front after 100 yards.
Yeah,
and it's what happens from there.
It's about.
Can I just jump in there? That was actually my angle with Virginia Plain. I was pretty sure this one would lead, but the price is gone. They've definitely conned on to that. I mean, there's no point a 6-4 shot laying it off at 1-2. Because I do think someone can maybe pick this one up.
Yeah, she's going to trade short though, isn't she?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
As you can see in the corner, Virginia Plain being napped by Richard O'Brien, Spotlight Rider doing Chester, or the opener there. Delighted to be at Chester. We really are. Spotlights are doing really well. This is what you get on this show. Premium Racing Post content for free. Free content, and great to have you along. Let us know you are out there. Are you going to try and go for the outsider, follow Marc Hryhorskyj in with Eye of Heaven, or are you with Virginia Plain? You're thinking this will take off as well, aren't you, Batch?
Yeah, she's got very good gate speed, and as Kilt said, she'd get out the slow start, should get on the rail. Just watching her go down to the start there, she was a bit free, carriage was really high.
Half-sister to Liberty Beach, of course, same colours, very free herself, isn't she?
That would worry me a little bit, but I don't think it's that far round to the start at Chester, the 5 furlong start, so she probably hasn't done too much. The sprinters are a bit like that, but I think she gets out of the gate.
To be on their toes,
sprinters, I think she'd get out of the gate and she'd be very hard to catch for me.
I'm with her. I like Rebel at Dawn, actually, and Richard Kingscote, Mr. Chester, if you like rides, but giving a stone, I think, will be difficult. Have a go Mecca, the third favourite in. I thought that might want some softer ground. Lost My Sock, held by Virginia Plain on a bit of collateral form, and Eye of Heaven. I'm not with Marc. I'm wondering whether this chap has trained on.
Have a go. Mecca has got a bit of form on Good to Firm, looking back, a little bit.
It was a nice performance last time at Haydock, but this is going to be
off ground, bit different.
And this is going to be a bigger, task, I think, isn't it? But listen, they're nearly in. So first race of 8 coming your way on Racing Post Live. Good luck wherever you're playing in the 140. They are off, and what's happened there? Okay.
Straight in front of him.
She's straight in front out of the gates. Franny Norton trying to go with, though, on Eye of Heaven. But Virginia Plain having none of it is taking off. Rebel Dawn, as expected. Richard Kingscote, he wants a bit of the action too. Will this go to one of the closers? Are they going to go too hard? Have a go Mecca on the inside. And Lost My Sock. First time tongue tie for Tim. He used to be sprinter out the back as well. Keels, they go on the far side. Did you think she'd be a bit further away by now?
He's trying to hold on to her, isn't he, really? He's not trying to press that advantage. He's just going around there nice and easily. I think she's going okay. I don't think she's always the strongest to finisher, though, so I would have liked to have seen her been a little bit further ahead.
And there's a stone between the top 2 in the market. Rebel at Dawn is there. When will the weight go? Have a go Mecca now being pulled out. Lost My Sock on the inside. Go on then, the plane. Let's get the jet plane out. Here comes Rebel at Dawn having a crack. How much she's done early? Can Have a go Mecca come over the top? She looks in trouble now on the rail. It is at the moment Rebel at Dawn. This could be a class angle. Lost My Sock having a crack, but Richard Kingscote, he's
got up.
Oh, did he get done on the inside?
Lost My Sock. Lost My Sock. Going up.
We'll go to Marc Hryhorskyj for a story in the market then. Marc, get it up, please. I guess Rebel at Dawn went really short. I thought he'd won.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the price just now. I'm just Virginia Place bang on, hit around 4-7, 1.53, 1.55 for decent money. It was a good run by obviously Lost My Sock. Got the run up the inside under Joe Fanning. It's hit a high of what price this one's winning ranked. We've had it's really been matched around 38 and running. We'll have a little look, see what price Rebel at Dawn. If you imagine this, it's only actually hit 3s on 1.32 for £19. There wasn't a lot of money done there, but I think my selection, Eye of Heaven, I think couldn't get across, was free wide. I think that one was cooked very, very quickly after a furlong pull.
Yeah, back to the drawing board for Eye of Heaven, I think. That was a case, Batch, it looked to me like the Virginia Plain had just done that bit too much. You want to softly, don't you, rather than going too hard. It's when they come and soften you up a little.
I thought he was trying to hold on to her and not go too fast initially, and they were going around together. But it's surprising. I mean, I'm pleased I managed to get done. I didn't think for a minute that she would have gone that short, because it didn't look to me like she was ever really in control.
One thing you're going to remember about being on this show, Kills, you will hear some remarkable in running positions. Sometimes you're like, how did that go that short? How did that go that big? We are the real market here this afternoon with the Betfair Exchange, our sponsors. You'll be seeing it. It's where all the bookies trade. This is where the real market moves happen, and we'll keep you abreast. We'll give you the real-time analysis as we go on. Chester, tick, done.
I think with horses like Virginia Plain, she's so quick out the gate, you can you need to nick 2 or 3 lengths.
Yeah,
You can use her speed.
to get it. Yeah.
Then you can save a little bit. Whereas today, he couldn't save because he's had 2 on his outside, and they've got racing early. And for them sprinters that only just get the 5, you'd use it. And listen, we said that when she was going down to the start, she looked a bit free. Just that. You only have to lose a little bit of edge on them sprinters, and that's your race run, gone.
Rebel at Dawn, don't give up on him though, Kills, right? Because he's given a stone, of course, away to Virginia Plain. And they got racing quite a way out, didn't
Yeah,
they?
they just got at each other, I suppose, didn't they? Like, my initial thought was they were trying to hold on to him, but they probably were just going fast, weren't they?
Yeah.
So
Even the way it finished.
We've seen a 101 done then in the very first race. Commiserations if you were on Virginia Plain like us. She just took off a little bit too quickly, didn't she? Tim Easterby, isn't he having a good time? Is this nap time, by the way, Tim Easterby at Royal Ascot next week? Is it Winter Power the nap at the minute?
No,
Sensing you think she's going to beat Batage.
I like Winter Power. I think the chances of Winter Power beating Batage are good. I mean, he apparently only had his first piece of serious work 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, he's got an impeccable first-time out record, but he's pretty impeccable record anyway, isn't he? But he has lost that. He has been beaten twice there, albeit by a very, very good horse in Blue Point. But I just think she could be the coming force. I mean, she looked so fast at York, didn't she?
Yeah.
She beat Atalis Bay, who runs later on at Sandown. We'll see. Hopefully that'll get a boost. But she won by 3 lengths, and he was 5 lengths further back. And the time of the race, she was half a second faster than Copper Knight earlier today. Now, he's a course specialist who was carrying £10 less. Now, if they'd have run in a conditions race against each other, all the weight for age and sex allowance, he'd have had to give her £11. Like, you know what I mean? So it's a massive turnaround. You're talking about thumping in by 10 lengths at York over 5 furlongs. You know, so I think she could be pretty good. And she's only had that 1 defeat in her last 4 runs as well. Like, you know, so
He's very keen on Batash, Jim.
Is he?
I drove him up to Chester last
Jim
week.
Crowley, of course.
Crowley, yeah, took him up to a bit of
it was
drive.
really hard not to be keen on him.
Yeah, he just
You know what I mean?
listen. Always.
I mean, at his best, he's sensational.
Yeah, as a jockey, but he's, like I said, that piece of work, he was bullish. He just seems in as good form as ever. And as you say, that for what he's done, but yeah, he does think a lot.
Our sprint division has been transformed in the last 10 years, and we were way behind other countries, weren't we? Horses that were Group 3 level were coming over, like Takeover Target, you know, who was a great horse at Royal Ascot, Choisir even. You know, he wasn't one of the best that they had, and they were clean. They could come over and know that they were going to win. You know, even Black Caviar, with the bad travelling she had, she managed to beat Moonlit.
And the bad ride.
But don't go there, Luke Nolan. But horses like Batash, I mean, well, Charlie Hills in particular, Muhara, you know, horses like that, they were right up there on the figures, aren't they? And, you know, Glass Slippers went over to America, of course, Breeders' Cup, and took it out there. Looking forward to seeing her back. Interesting that she's going. You like her for that,
I like
don't
her
you?
with 6 furlongs. Yeah, I think she's wanted 6 furlongs for a while, yeah. I think she might run really well. She's run there well before. She's won well there before, hasn't she?
If you look at her win at the Breeders' Cup, and obviously it shouldn't be a problem, sharper, but when she won at the Curragh, that Group 1 last year, she definitely gets better. She hits a flat spot, doesn't she?
Yeah. She
We
finished.
all love one that hits a flat spot and wins.
She's
don't we?
strong at the end. I mean, obviously,
Love it.
you have to remember, another furlong's another 220 yards. It's 20% further distance, isn't it? It's a fair way.
Yeah.
Even though you only think of it, it's only another furlong. But, you know, she's got to stay it. But I think she shapes like she will really well as well.
All right, there you go. A couple of early steers for Royal Ascot then. Get your selections in. We will be previewing all along the way. Like I say, we've got lots of specials for you out there on the sportsbook, etc. We'll be looking at, you know, who's the lay of the meeting? Are you with Stradivarius? Are you against them? The weather looks like it's come good, isn't it? So I spoke to Wesley Ward, myself and Kills yesterday on the feature show, What a Shout. And that was enjoyable, Kills, wasn't it? Because he gives a lot, Wes, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, as I was saying earlier, he's typical of an American trainer. They're so bullish about the horses.
Yeah.
You know, they breeze really well, and they've done this and they've done that, and then you come away thinking, well, hang on a minute, which one does he really fancy? I think we tickled it out of him. Which is Lucci.
Lucci was the was the monster amongst the two.
Was the one that, you know, the one that's going to wow you in the paddock,
Norfolk.
Like, you know, yeah.
What day do they run the Norfolk these days? I mean, I've got
It used to be Thursday, didn't it? But is it? I don't know.
6:10 the last race. We're
know.
covering every single race for you next week here on Racing Post Live. You won't be in the studio next week, but you'll be in and around, won't you, all the time?
I'll be in and around.
Sizzlers every day.
I'll pop in and make
and
faces and stuff like that.
Yeah,
during the
well,
day.
Top hat and towels next week, David?
It's not. I don't think we're going to go down that route, Matt.
Absolutely not.
I don't think we're going. Are you one of those Kills that if you walked into the Royal Enclosure, you'd be turfed out?
Just like the Penguin, when I mean, it'd be ridiculous. I come in with a brolly, when I.
Have you ever had reason to put them on, Matt, at a racecourse? Have you ever?
Top hat and towels?
Yeah.
I did, I've done a bit of hosting there to Go and hire a suit and
Yeah.
again, it's the
not
Artful Dodger again come out.
I bet it did. Absolutely.
I picked a few pockets and all.
It was your favourite. Let's not go down that road. But you've been with
Sitting
Jim.
next to me.
I bet he was. But you've been with Jim Grady. You're good mates with him, and Batchelor, she's really looking forward to
Yes,
that, isn't he?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Listen, there you go. Some early steers for you before you get here on Racing Post Live. Shall we move on? We're 10 minutes away from going up to the Knavesmire. York is back. This is always a bit of a calm before the storm weekend, isn't it? But the races at York are traditionally quite good this weekend. And this Queen Mother's Cup coming up, you can see the market there on your screen. Mile 4 for lady amateur riders. Is this the one where when they win, they used to win their body weight in champagne?
Something like that, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Luca Kamani always used to try and lay one out for
I've been trying to get a ride in it for ages.
Imagine me and you sitting on horse keels. We know that would be some hangover.
They always just have the valet ready outside. So when the winner got on the scales, they used to put another weight cloth on as well, full of lead.
Very, very clever, absolutely. So look, this is a prestigious race for the female amateurs. And Marc, how did you see this one playing out?
Yeah, I think it's another tricky race here. The eyes are obviously drawn to the likes of Gina Andrews and Miss Serena Brotherton, who often dominate in this sphere. I think most punters, when I looked at this race last night, were latching onto this. We took a bit out of the market, but it seems to be even more wide open now. They can't really make their mind up on the exchange right now. But there's two that I want to Dutch in this race. The first one is Tim Easterby's. Obviously just had a winner there at Chester, and that's Samim. Looks like it's been laid out for this race, in my opinion. Trainer does exceptionally well at York, £13 below last winning mark. Expect this one to be prominent early. Could get an uncontested lead. And obviously, Miss Emily Easterby, she'll obviously know the horse as well. And the second one is Arctic Fox from Martin Toddhunter. Miss Becky Smith on board. That's a positive. She won this race in 2019 off a £7 higher mark for Richard Fahey. Comeback run was promising, I thought. And I just have a sneaky feeling that this one's been aimed at this race as well. So, Paul, if you can Dutch 2 in this race for me, we'll do two £25 selections, Samim and Arctic Fox. I'll probably take out about £90 profit on both, about £89-90 profit on both.
Yeah. So Samim is now, it's been very strong, Samim. That was another one that was a big price the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's a lot shorter now, so there's obviously a lot of confidence behind him.
He was around 12 to 1 the other day, wasn't he?
Yeah, 5.5, 5.6, let's see, both done. Yep, that's it. 90 quid on Arctic Fox, 87.5 on Samim.
Yeah, Samim is interesting. Thank you, Marc. You've got time to react out there. It's 2 o'clock off. I'm with you, Marc, on the pace angle. And I mean, I've got a feeling that the Easterbys got into racing just to plot them because they love. I mean, I've never met connections that love getting something right more than I've seen them at point-to-point fields, plotting them up there, taking on Southern Yards and things like that. And all the brothers are there and the family are there. And I think the plot is more important than, they absolutely love it. Getting a horse to the absolute peak condition off the right mark for the right distance. And they have been doing it to great success, haven't they, of course?
I rode one for Mick Easterby years ago.
How was that?
Doncaster, in a boys' race. Dave Roberts rang me up, said, do you want to go up to Doncaster in a boys' race? Mick Easterby. I said, yeah. He said, it will win. I said, yeah, and it won. Yeah.
Did it?
Yeah, backed it and they won.
Was he there, Mick?
Yes. And
How many ice creams did he have?
it was the first race and he was on his 10th. And he said to me, hold on to this horse, go last minute, and when you go from the last, go. It was strong. I could hardly hold it. I dropped my stick. I took it up, took it into the straight, and I thought, he's going to absolutely kill me if this gets big for it. One.
And knowing them, they probably thought, let's put this Mattie Batchelor. We'll get 10 points, which is bigger than we should do. He'll even lose his
10,
stick and
20.
he can win. He'll even lose his stick and he
I
can win.
threw the stick away because I didn't really need
Yes,
it.
exactly. Don't need this. Mick's plotted one out. But listen, I absolutely can see it. And Samim, listed winner in his pomp. He's only a 5-year-old. And could he get loose on the lead? But there's one in this that you like. You put it in your sizzlers today. It is?
It is Byron Flyer, yeah. I mean, he's the old bird apart. He's 10 years old. But he's actually been running quite well. He was second in a Class 2 handicap at Sandown on the last day of the season at Scaramanga. Came back over on the flat, ran at Chester in the Consolation Chester Cup, finished 6th. Not a bad run. I mean, he's beaten nearly 8 lengths, but he was hampered at the start. He doesn't really want the ground that soft. I've stuck the visor on to help for a mile and a half, but I think he wants faster ground than he had at Chester. He ran well in a couple of Class 2 handicaps last year. He was fifth and sixth, I think, like, you know, in smallish fields, but he wasn't beaten far. He's dropped a long way in the weights. He hasn't run in a Class 3 handicap since 2017, when he got beat a neck on this course by a horse who was completing a hat-trick at the time. And I just think everything's in line for him to run a big race.
The trainer's in some form.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian Williams, that's another reason.
He's jumping,
Yeah, he's in real good form.
Really good form.
Everywhere. So, you know, that's another one. I mean, you know, the one, you know, I might have to have a tiny saver on the rag, which is Fly Me to the Stars, because, you know, if he was coming here straight off his last run, and that last run was 2 weeks ago, he'd be evens. But, you know, he hasn't run for an absolute age. But, I mean, he was fourth for the group race. He's been third in the Northumberland Plate and second in an Ebor. And he's running off 95. But, again, he's got the least experienced jockey. Now, I do not know anything about Miss Rosie Howard. She might turn out to be a really, really good amateur, but she's only had 12 rides so far.
Yeah.
She's in a couple of places, but nothing else.
In contrast to the pilot you've got.
Oh, yes, we've got Serena Brothers, and she's ridden over 120 winners.
Won this 3 times before.
Yeah.
Going for the 4th win in that.
She's got more champagne under the stairs.
And she is scary.
Is she?
So if Miss Rosie Hellworth, if you've got Serena shouting out, I've rode with her around Jersey. It's an experience I don't want to experience again. Put it that way.
Right?
Oh yeah.
What, intimidated you, Batch? Did she?
She scared me.
Really?
You've got to
you shout during the races.
Not shouting, not so much shouting, just some of her manoeuvres. She's like, if she wants to go somewhere, she'll go somewhere.
Right.
And
So she's pretty fearless then.
oh yeah.
I'll be honest, I thought age was starting to catch up a little bit with the top lady amateur. Last season, I watched her a little bit and I wasn't sure, but actually she has bounced back to rather typically this season. And how much should we put in the rider in these amateur races? You've got Gina Andrews in there. Becky Smith rides in the race. I like this, Marc. One of your Dutches, Arctic Fox. I thought it was an interesting comeback run, let's put it that way, at Ayr last time, behind horses that she was always going to sort of struggle to catch up. I think course and distance form, loves York, and Becky Smith is a rider that I always like in these sort of rides. I just think she's very solid. And I can see it. I would be very surprised if this wasn't the big plan. Certainly wasn't Ayr the last day, and he's well handicapped.
Interesting point about betting and running throughout the day at York, as if you watched the racing yesterday when they swing off the bend, a lot of them were staying, they were staying towards the stand side, but then edging towards the middle. Almost every race, the ones that won came down the outside.
Did they?
And the ones that stayed on the inside seemed to run out of it. Now, the going stick would tell you it was the other way, that it was actually faster on the far side, but it wasn't. Or at least that was how it appeared in the way the races were run. It was always something coming right down the outside that was winning. So it'd be interesting to see what happens here.
It'll give us a steer.
Obviously, we've got 17, we've got 8:21 a sprint later on.
Yeah, low numbers far side.
Or low numbers are far side. We'll see what happens there. I mean, I've backed a high numbered one in the last race of the day, funnily enough. Because all the low numbers are, all the fancy horses are in low numbers. Yeah. They just see that if they actually want to be middle to stand side, it might be the place to be.
I think races like this, sometimes you've got to try and pick out the best horse. If, like, normally there's a few more runners in races like this.
Of course, yeah.
Who is the best horse then, Batch? Because you've gone for...
I've gone for Carlos Felix. I had a wind operation, was at Dan Skelton's, probably why Gina's riding it, sister of Bridget.
Started off with David Simcock, didn't he?
Yeah.
And they had high hopes for him.
Last time around it was over a mile 5, step back in trip, a bit free last time out. I think the Tripper Suit, as you say, Gina Andrews, very good pilot. I mean, you can look at that. You can look at the jockeys and say, but if
How
you
much
look
they paid for this chap initially? I mean, Darren Yates has got...
It was a fortune, yeah.
Has had some misfortune, let's put it that way, with some of the horses he's bought. Incredible money, €700,000 they paid.
He has thrown an awful lot of money away, and he bought some duds with it. I mean, he paid half $500,000 for Don Poli, didn't he?
Yeah,
He
something
did.
like that, yeah.
He did.
I mean,
Black Lion. Those
got the
same
money.
races.
Yeah.
Got the money. Good luck to him.
Yeah, well, absolutely.
You know what I mean? But I mean, I'd say
Ascot boy at
he
least
wasn't,
gave a bit of
he
cheer during
wasn't
the
getting the best advice at times.
Well, that's half the battle, I think, isn't it? But he's got Gina Andrews on here, which means, I mean, Gina would have, you imagine, been offered quite a few rides in this, I would imagine. I saw her in the point-to-point the other day, and she was actually just absolutely magic.
This is a lively old market, It looks like everything is being backed to a certain extent. Fly Me to the Stars is now down to 9.6.
Marc, tell us then.
Yeah, it doesn't seem they can make their mind up here. Obviously, they're coming for Samim. Arctic Fox is on the drift now to around 6-1, 7.2. Serena Burmont and Amy Watt at the top of the bang at around 4.6, 7-2. And even the outsider as well, it was 13.5 a couple of minutes, goes in at 9.8. I just don't think they can make their mind up here. Again, this could be absolute carnage in running, especially with these lady amateurs, because they do usually go off a fast pace. But I'm hoping Samim can be in front early and make all. But yeah, I'm expecting some in-running carnage here that I can report on after this race.
Oh, we love the carnage in running. It gets us going in here, doesn't it? Nicholas T. Keels. We must mention the favourite. They've got this thing, Keels, in here. If we don't mention a horse, the 18 we'll go and win. I think we mentioned them all now, bar the favourite.
Yeah, I mean he's had some really good times in his life, hasn't he? He's another veteran. He's 9 years old now.
For Jim Goldie,
and he didn't get beat that far last time. You can see why he can be fancied.
His form at York's not great though, is it?
Yeah, that's it. That's the other thing. I mean, you want to see a horse that's run well at York. If they've gone to York and they haven't run that well, then that has to worry you, because I don't know what it is about the track.
It surprises me, because York seems to me very straightforward track.
Flat as a pancake, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't really...
But what you have to remember, the turf on any, the turf on any track is completely different to any other track.
Yeah.
Well, they're going in, so we're about to find out who does win their body weights in Champagne. Which lady rider will it be? Good luck wherever you're playing. That was a word for Nicholas T. then, for the wily Jim Goldie. Do you remember when we interviewed him, Keels, on a feature show? The bloke that was doing the subtitles would have got it wrong. We literally had no idea. Marc Hryhorskyj we could just about get.
Just about.
They're piling up for Samim here just before they go.
Are they? Oh.
Range line 4.2 should probably go off around the 3-1 mark. Maybe 3.95, but they're piling up for it at the QN.
Okay, watch out for this in running. Some of you are probably getting this, thinking it's going to go short. Okay, reminder, Kills is putting his scissors today. Byron Flyer, Mattie likes Carlux Felix. Marc Hryhorskyj is Dutching Arctic Fox. That's the one I came down on top with. And Samim as well for the.
Got the value on Samim, but not on Arctic Fox. That's the way it goes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, that's it.
Lay it off right now, Paul. If we can, we'll let it run.
Nicholas T don't even like the stalls at York. Don't even want to go in there.
He's been around a bit, the 9-year-old, isn't he? I'm with you though, Batch. Every time York comes around, you get such quality of horse there that you look forward to trying to find them. I never know how they want to ride there. It's over the years you have to be on the front, you go behind. It's just one of those strange courses that when you think you've got it licked, you think low numbers on the sprint, it's then high. It's very odd. I'm not exactly sure why. I guess it will continue to.
Yeah, but it'd be interesting to see where they come, because sometimes they do come over to the stand side when they come round.
And in this race, I've seen
yesterday they didn't seem to exactly know what to do, but if they were coming up the middle rather than stand side, they were doing better.
Well, let's see what the amateurs have decided to do then, because they're in. Good luck at the 2 o'clock, and away we go. Nicholas T didn't want to go in, didn't really want to come out either, so the favourite Plum last at the moment and taking a bit of a key hold. Fly Me to the Stars, the outsider, coming back from donkeys off, but again, only 10-1 in the betting, wasn't it? A little bit enough for him.
He's very keen at the back, isn't he?
Yeah, Samim has got the lead, although Byron Flyer enthusiastically tagging onto him, as is Carlux Felix, Matty Batch's pick, and just observing in midfield, probably settled best of all, is Arctic Fox as well under Becky Smith. Kills, what sort of pace are they going?
I would say fairly even. 35 mile an hour is not. It's not outstandingly fast, but it's not that slow either.
Yeah, I've got a friend I always say on this show who looks at the telly on RTV or whatever, and he goes, "Why is it always 32 miles an hour, Batch?" He says, "Well, yeah, always." So I'd suggest maybe that is a little bit quicker. I don't know.
I saw one of them on RTV earlier on in the winter, and it said 40 mile an hour. It was a 3-mile handicap hurdle at Adolf on the heavy ground.
Try and lay the closers. Exactly.
We're going a bit fast here, lads.
A bit too quick here, lads. Marc Hryhorskyj, where's the market going? Samim gone low?
Samim was very, very keen for a furlong or two. He's trading around 5-2, 3.65. It's currently around 3.95. Favourite and running right now. Obviously, Serena Burmont is quite prominent. She's 4.7 around 7-2. But I don't think they can make their mind up here what's going on. I don't think they'll start getting racing until they come in the bend, maybe 2-3 out. I mean, things will start to develop. But yeah, anyone's race here. But hopefully, Samim can make all. He's currently around 11-4 and running just now, 3.85.
Yeah, not being harried up front.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping Serena's in the right place just by sitting off it.
Yeah, well, Byron will absolutely be tugging her there. It's just a case has been a bit too keen. Let's see where they go then.
Well,
they're all going well. Yeah. Nicholas T starting to warm up now then as they go into the home straight and keeping far side, Kills.
Keeping far side, yeah. It'd be interesting,
this will tell us something.
To see what happens now.
Okay, Carlos Felix got himself a bit warm. He's just starting to warm up. The one that is feeling it is the rank out. Well, I said a rank outside. That's ridiculous, isn't he? Only 10 to 1 shot. Back off for donkeys. He's struggling a little bit, flying into the stars. Arctic Fox on the inside. Case of what it finds. Will get the gap, though, by the looks of it. Samim, though, still on the bridle. Byron Fly going to need to pick
Nicholas
up.
T's going
Coming
through a
between
gap.
horses is Nicholas T, then, on the inside. Carlos Felix now. Gina Andrews looks like she's cooked. Samim meeting the sandwich. Favourite taking up. Will he get outside by Arctic Fox? Becky Smith going for it then with Myth Amy Ward. Looks like Amy Ward's going to win the champagne then. Pop the cork. The favourite was last in. Came out last. Pulled in. But he's going to be first home. That's what you want to see, isn't it? And again, well plotted by Jim Goldie. This is his day in the sun. Arctic Fox runs really well in second, just lacks that tactical gear. And Byron Flyer, a little bit keen. Did he give up the ghost? We'll find out what the panel think after Marc Hryhorskyj gives us a story of the race on the exchange.
Yeah, Nicholas T's probably the first one off the bridle there, but done it well under Amy Woe, and obviously she'll be looking forward to that champagne. But yeah, didn't go above around 8 to 1, 7.6 on the Betfair Exchange. I think the second Arctic Fox obviously had every chance coming up the rail there, but I just don't think stayed. It was outbattled quite easily by the eventual winner. That one's only traded around 2.7, around the 7 of 4.13.8 mark. But yeah, nothing crazy in that race. I mean, Samim, I think what price did that one go? I mean, that one's traded as low as around 3.2 for a tenner. So I think as soon as that one came under pressure and was headed, that one was cooked as well. But yeah, ran a good race, and the favourite done it well, Nicholas T. And obviously the champagne for me well. On to the next one. Yeah,
absolutely. Pop in the court. You can go and organise your drones now, Marc, for a minute or two. Thanks very much. Yeah, off it goes. Absolutely. You're only allowed 3. Don't forget that. You're only allowed 3. It shouldn't be too hard for you today. Although you've got 3 tracks to do, Matt. Byron Fly then, Keels. Let's pick the bones out of that one.
He's probably just not fast enough for a mile and a half these days, is he? I don't think he chucked it in or anything like that. He kept running to the line, but he's probably just not quick enough. You know, I was hoping that the drop in class would help him, but
yeah,
he's got beat for toe, I think.
Yeah, he's just got.
Yeah, he was coming back.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah,
he also wears a visor a little bit free early. The temptation is to say he's.
Well, they actually put a visor on him to try and wake him up because because he was dropping down in distance from Chester last time, and obviously he's been running over a lot further over.
So we want to see a nice mile 6 race for him later on or something.
Yeah, I mean,
go down in Glade.
He's a 10-year-old, isn't he? You know, try and find another race with him. I'm sure there's a race to be won with it.
Ian Williams will find it. If you're an owner with Mr. Williams, everyone tells me that he is such a good trainer to be with because they've got this WhatsApp group and he tells all the other owners what all the other horses are doing. It's an open stable, basically. I'm sure they'll find the right race. Nicholas T, it was a good ride, that batch, wasn't it, coming between horses?
Yeah, very good. There was a gap there that they could have easily sort of shut the door, but she stuck to her guns and said, she made the decision and went through. I mean, listen, I think if she would have come around the outside, it still would have won. But yeah, it was a great bit of race riding. Carlos Felix, for me, just looked like, I don't know if the wind up might have worked the first couple of runs, but head was carried high, it dropped away too quickly for me. But no, great ride from the young girl, so very good.
Yeah, first time she sat on Nicholas T as well. Arctic Fox back on track, I think, just again, looking for the trip there. So that was the first race of the day at York. 2 races down of 6 for you this afternoon here on Racing Post Live. Get involved. Let's get that social interaction warming up. I know a few of you are building up out there, whether you're watching on YouTube channel, Facebook Live, or indeed anything on Twitter. Get involved with us. #RP Live. Myself, Dave Orton, Mattie Batch, Paul Kealy, and Marc Hryhorskyj from Betfair. What can go wrong this afternoon? Should we go to Isha then? Keels isn't there. Everything can go wrong. Trust me, everything can go wrong. Let's go to Isha, shall we? It's listed time. It's the Scurry Stakes. And there you go. Let's get the market up, boys, on the screen. I'm sure that will appear very shortly. There we are. Atalis Bay, still trading at the top of the market. I thought this was going to go really short, Marc, yesterday. I think it's levelling out. 2 to 1 is about the right price for me. I think we all pretty much think it's definitely the right favourite.
Yeah, it was around 7 to 4 on the sportsbook yesterday, so it's around 2 to 1 at the moment on the Betfair Exchange. But for this race, actually, I want to use the back to lay facility on the Betfair Exchange here. I'm with Clive Cox's first edition. It was an eye catcher last time over course and distance. Fractions are a bit too quick early and tied up inside the final furlong. However, that was the first run for 6 months and should have blown away the cobwebs. First edition actually reopposes Nelson Gay here. Level weights this time. I had to give that one £15 on the 23rd of April. And if you're looking at prices, I mean, first edition's 11.5, Nelson Gay's 12.5. So I think Nelson Gay should probably be a bit bigger. First edition short. So obviously we'll take advantage of that with first edition. It's traded around even money last time out with on the BSP 4.86 around the 7-2. I can see this happening again today. I think first edition will be handy early on, and obviously you got Kirby, the man in form at the moment, on board. Looks the perfect back to lay material for me. So if you can lock this one in for me, Paul, that'd be great. If we can take a bit of 12.5, we'll try and get rid of this one around 5.2.
Right, how much you want?
Nice. We'll do a 20. We'll do a 25 pound. Actually, you know what? We'll do a £50 bet. At 12.5.
Yep, that's done.
And then we'll try and get our stake back. We'll go for 11-4. We'll go for around 3.75, 3.85. We'll lock that in. Keep that running
for £50.
Yeah, we'll try and get our stake back. Yeah, because I can see this one hitting the front and just maybe getting picked up. And we'll just keep that as well. Save that, yeah.
Keep that. Yeah.
Cool.
Yep.
Excellent. Thank you.
Interesting play then for Marc Hryhorskyj. I'll tell you what, it's a big week coming up, as ever, for Clive Cox, isn't it, Royal Ascot? We're associating with the sprint race. Just one from his last 25, I was just looking at Clive. So I'm not, a couple have been hitting the crossbar a little bit. Supremacy kills and horses like that. Supremacy is good. Is there any horse with more to prove next week?
Oh, God, that was a terrible one, wasn't it? Like, you know what I mean? But he didn't look brilliant the first time out as a 2-year-old either.
Pavilion Stakes, was it?
But yeah, in the Pavilion Stakes at Ascot, yeah, he didn't look brilliant the first time out as a 2-year-old, and then he took off afterwards, didn't he? So I just don't know. I mean, he obviously needed it. He needed it badly, or he hasn't trained on.
He always seems to pop up on one at Ascot as well, doesn't he?
2-year-olds.
He does, especially sprinters. I mean, obviously Nando Parado, whatever.
The biggest prize
150
ever.
to 1,
Commentary, and indeed at Royal Ascot.
But yeah, I mean, he hasn't had a lot of winners, but he's had some second and thirds, Clive Cox, hasn't he? Like, you know what I mean?
Yes.
It's one of those
They're not
where
completely out of form.
No,
they're running well.
It's never a yard you'd think that would have. I know, but it's just I was surprised by that a little bit. It's got a Diligent Harry, of course, isn't it? That could go in the Commonwealth as well, and a couple of other 2-year-olds as well. But first edition, drawn in 1, Keels, on the sprint course. As I spoke to you about this yesterday, is it the draw it used to be?
No, it's not that it used to be. I think it's still some sort of advantage, but not the advantage that it used to be. I mean, there was a stage a few years ago where if you weren't drawn 1 or 2, you weren't winning.
Screwed, yeah.
It's not quite the same anymore. So I think I'm not that worried. I'm not that worried about the draw so much now. Personally, I want a Tireless Bay to win because
Winter Power.
That boosts the form of Winter Power and makes me feel like I'm on the right track. In terms of official ratings and chance in this race based on pure form, you'd probably say he was a bit short, really, at 2-1, wouldn't you? Like, you know what I mean? I hope he'll win. I think he's improving. And I think even though he got thumped, I think that was an improved performance. I mean, again, if you just got rid of Winter Power and he's won that race by 5 lengths, he turns up here, he's even money, isn't he?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Would he be turning up here? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Would he be going somewhere else? It's like, crikey, we've got a better horse than we thought we had.
Yeah.
But obviously there was another one a fair bit ahead.
Yeah.
Which makes you think, well, hang on a minute, if you can get beaten that easily, how good are you?
Yeah.
There's always different ways to look at it, but I still think it was an improved effort. And I'd give him the benefit of the doubt, but I wouldn't rush in to have a smash at 2-1 or shorter as he is now.
Yeah, I thought 2s was about the right price. You'll do well to get that even on the exchange, as you can see there on our market. He's my tip. I just think from stall 4, Andrew Azzini. I like this horse. He's very, very well bought for the price, and it's one of these horses, that that we can rely on him. Hopefully, for famous last words, and you can't say that for some of the others. Where was Batch going in this?
I'm very much with Tireless Bay. If you look at that form, as Keith said, if you take Winter Power out, it's an impressive winner, and it probably would have come here shorter than that. So I think it will win. But I think Queen's Carriage each way.
Interesting.
It won over 6 on soft ground in Ireland. It has got speed 4-5 and 5 furlongs round Sandown, and it's a 10-1 shot. I think it's a good each way price.
For Kevin Thomas Coleman, Kills, who had the second in the dash last week with only spoofing.
Yeah, absolutely. Only spoofing ran really, really well and managed to get beat by something that comes straight down the middle.
There you are. I know that was always a strange race to dust.
Yeah.
But this is drawn in 3, and I thought it would be a little bit shorter with Pat Dobbs on. In fact, that's the kind of way I would play this race.
Bit of value there, I think.
And Queen's Carriage still bull. What are we going to do? Still bull.
I mean, this is it. I mean, bringing back to that Malcolm form, and you think, well, this is, what on earth is it doing at 8-1? But it hasn't done anything since, has it?
Yeah.
I mean, the fact it's coming over again. I mean, with all,
seems like a long time ago that he won the Malcolm.
Brexit regulations with COVID and all that. I mean, when the Irish have been coming over, they've been doing really well, haven't they? Obviously, we had Henry the Bromhead one with the 14 to 1 shot of Sandown on Brigadier last night. Only because I saw him. What on earth's he doing over here for that?
Got a tongue tie on as well, first time today.
Yeah, first time tongue tie might happen. But again, a proper speed demon as well. So whether he wants to uphill Sandown rather than downhill Goodwood is another matter.
And we've got some social interaction coming on the screen. The producers think it's time to introduce Larry Parsnips to the show. I'll tell you what, we're going up in the world of this show, aren't we? Absolutely. Kills doing the bets reminds me of showing my dad how to use a phone.
That is harsh.
I'll have you know I've been losing money on computers for about 15 years at least.
Just move on. Oh, there you go, Larry. Absolutely.
You ain't seen the rest of them doing the old betting, then they posty.
I'll tell you what, the only
Rain
person that
bet.
hasn't done it yet is because you're not allowed to, is you, because he's actually still riding, would you believe?
Bear in mind, please, that I've got another laptop having my own bets, and I'm also sneakily watching racing from other tracks.
Well, that doesn't surprise me whatsoever.
Yeah,
How are you getting on?
concentrate, aren't I?
How are you getting on? We up?
I'm back to winner at Sandown.
Oh, he kept that quiet, Gills.
Believe me, that's not racing on his other screen.
All right, it has begun. It has begun. Absolutely. So, but I'll tell you what, you're keeping that quiet. Honestly, we've got the likes of Ross Briley that come in.
I'm a professional.
Rob Way, when he sits in that seat, when he's looking at another one, you can see him in there. I can't throw to him because I'm thinking to myself, I know what he's doing. It's a long time since he had a winner. When everyone has a winner, you can throw to him. But Graham Robbo will be joining us 2 days next week at Royal Ascot. You'll be delighted. No, Chris Timms comes back onto the show and says, I hope Atardis Bay wins well here, as I've backed Winter Power for the King's Stand on Tuesday. Like Keels. Get your questions in for Keels and Batch. Or pick his brain about Royal Ascot. You can get inside the man's head. Do we want to be doing that today? I don't really know. Thankfully, I can't see that second screen. But I think you've done extremely well so far. I don't want to do it.
Yeah,
I see you've got fallen off the bike.
everything is.
He's the best I've seen, to be.
There you
all the
go.
time I've been even the best I've
We've
seen.
got a mouse on a bit of paper because it won't work on a glass table. We've got all these problems. Like, I thought I've done okay.
You are doing okay. Larry Parsnips.
Better than okay, Keith. Better than okay.
No Barry Orr today, of course, but he did do the Saturday jury, Barry. If you're looking in the papers today on the website, you'd have seen that. He puts tips basically, also lots of Mattie Player. And who else did they have? I think they had Aussie Tom Marquand on there as well, didn't they? And he gives a chance to Steel Bull. We just see a replay of that Moulton win last year.
Yeah, he looked really good here, didn't
From
he?
stall 9 kills,
Yeah.
Lee Roche is just going to have to take his medicine, isn't
Well,
he?
gonna
Go
sit-
between horses.
He's going to sit behind anyway, isn't he?
But was he just a 2-year-old? We saw with Eye of Heaven in our first race at Chester.
It's perfectly possible that he was.
Yeah, and
Perfectly possible that he was.
soft ground on his return, no good for him. But
we
it didn't look
we
good.
have to
did it?
wait and see, don't we?
Yeah.
We have to
Quite
wait
weak
and
in the bound just now, Dave. He's out to around a 10 to 1, 11.5. Seems that Warrior Brave, the only thing to really oppose the favourite Atlas Bay, is into 2.68. This one could easily go off around the 6 to 4 mark on the Betfair Exchange. Just over 320,000 match the market right now, but it seems like the backers are definitely queuing up to get on Atlas Bay here. There's even more money coming for it now, 2.6. Strong favourite here. Backers are on.
Love that, Mark. Again, this is what we can show you here on Racing Post Live. You can see where the money is going. Is it going for do the bookies want to try and push this one out and snare you in, or is this a plunge with the late gambles that are going? Warrior Brave, Mark just mentioned there, for the excellent horse watchers. They pick up these horses, don't they, Kills, and they improve them with.
Oh, they do very well.
trainers of
They do
Mick
very,
Appleby.
very well.
Yeah, and SDS is on. You can't imagine it's going to be too far away, can you? This.
Well,
chap?
no, he's one of the lowest rated in the field, isn't he? Only 93, so he's got a fair bit. He's got a fair bit to find, but again, they do improve them, and he isn't. He has won twice already this season.
He's got a bit of form with the top horse as well. Atardis Bay, hasn't he?
Yes, I think he does.
Yeah.
I think he does have.
A bit
Yeah.
of form there.
Yes, he has. Yeah, it was 5th to him, wasn't it? At Nottingham, of course, on turf.
Yeah.
2
So
months
he's
back.
got a bit to find, doesn't he?
Historically, the Racing Post ratings of the winner of this are in the low 100s, and so Atardis Bay, Steel Bull, can we trust that rating? We don't know. The rest of them have got to go up, but a couple have, Curious for Henry Candy a couple of years ago, in the top 90s as well, so we'll know what sort of race this will be. I always find it a bit of a head scratcher. I liked Atardis Bay, like that's 3 ticks for Atardis Bay. It is just, I didn't think he'd be 6 to 4, so.
The thing is, with the Sandown 5 furlongs, you touched on the point earlier, that these 5 furlongs have got plenty of speed, but you do need to have that little bit of stamina to finish this. don't you?
you've
If
gotta
you've
get
got a
it.
5 furlong horse,
You don't want to be
like-
off the bridle on a leader
No.
at the furlong pole, do you? It's, yeah.
it's like Virginia Plain, she wouldn't last home 5. It's got too
Yeah, I
much-
mean,
Liberty Beach got beaten here, of
too much
course.
speed.
Whenever you go to Sandown and you get off the train and jump off and walk across the course, you actually realise how steep uphill that finish is.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, they're all pretty much in. Just Still Bull having to think about it out the back. Lot to prove though. First time, better ground for Still Bull. And let's face it, all the pace in the race suggests that this really ought to suit Michael O'Callaghan's top 2-year-old, wasn't it? Let's face it. All right, good luck then wherever you're playing in the first listed race of the day. It is the Scurry Stakes, 5 furlongs, fast and furious. They'll be going far side. I think we can say that. Will we see some traffic problems? Let's find out then. Level break, I can tell you. And Still Ball's come out absolutely. He's almost come out a little bit too well because Lee Roche right on the outside.
Out a bit, didn't
Where's he going to go? This was probably not going to be the plan. Who's leading then? Atalis up there. He's just uncomplicated.
He's already gone odds on.
Has he? There you go. All right. So you can see there the market developing in front of your eyes because he's just got the lead from Warrior Brave. Looking for Michelle Starr just behind them. What's this coming up on the outside? Nick Bradley. What a week they had. Was second in the Oaks. That's Silent Queen, the rank outsider. On the inside, first edition, Marc Hryhorskyj said this would be up there. Has it gone low enough? That's the question. We'll find out shortly. Still Bull then. What's he got left on the outside? Atalis Bay. This is where hopefully the class will come in. Is anything going to pick him up? Warrior Brave on the outside. Atalis Bay not done with. Here comes Queen's Carriage. The other Irish raider. Will he pick him up? Has he gone too hard, Atalis Bay? We will find out. Atalis Bay, though, class coming to the fore. He picks up again. Andrea Razzini says go. He responds. Warrior Brave coming back. No good. The market got it right. Atalis Bay makes pretty much all. Warrior Brave always up there in the van.
Pinned on the line for each way.
Is that right?
Carriage, yeah.
Oh, no. I didn't see the third and fourth. What was it? Let's have a look. They're going past. I just love this little horse.
She took a full step, didn't she?
Yeah, you thought she got a name.
Yeah.
Nelson,
Still Bull has
Nelson's
put
Gay.
himself back on track
Gay,
now, I think, guys, and he's just got third from Queen's Carriage. Nelson Gay never nearer in fifth. Michelle Starr, first edition. Marc, you didn't quite get matched.
Yeah, we got £18 match there, not the full 50 though. I was quite surprised with that. 'Cause I think as soon as I was being kicked, I think when Adam pushed the button, this one quickly went backwards. But I did think that was the way the race was going to unfold. I didn't think the steep hill would finish. I just thought there could have been a potential trading angle there. But yeah, good winner for the backers there. And obviously you guys, Atlas Bay, done it well. Just trying to find out what price this one's actually hitting running. I'd imagine it probably didn't hit that high because training around, as Paul said, about 1.92 as soon as it went to the front. We've hit a high of. We've not hit a high above the BSP there. Done it well in the end. I think first editions definitely want to keep on side more on a flat track. Again, could be potential back to lay. But yeah, we got some of the back to lay match there, but just unfortunately we couldn't get the full stake. But yeah, moving on from that.
Thank you, Marc Hryhorskyj. Yeah, it was a case of always up there, Kills. And I love this little chap. This is what I saw him do at Windsor and a couple of places last year. They come at him, and he does just find a little bit more. And he's dwarfed by most of them. He's just, and that's right. Your winter power boost.
He's a proper little terrier. I mean, this is good. I mean, he's taken out a listed race from an improver who was, you can't say a strong second favourite, but he was definitely pulled away from the rest of them in the betting to be second favourite, and they've actually pulled a good couple of lengths clear as well
from last year's Malcolm winner.
He got absolutely battered by Winter Power.
Yeah. So when you said this is good, I reckon after a couple of beers later, you're going to be telling everyone, this is great!
Certainly, it might just go above Primo Batchelor as the banker of the week.
Oh, yeah, that is the nap, of course. Of course, Primo Batchelor. Kills teasing you then. All the content with the Sizzlers next week. Get your questions in for Kills and Batch as well. Well done, Batch, you were on that. Did you have a moment's worry?
No, looked really comfortable in front. And as you say, the starting price, after we said the form looked good against Winter Power. And looking at how it's won now, the starting price, as you say...
It's a funny way of going about it, that Queen's Carriage, isn't it?
I thought she was going to come pick him up.
But it looked like she did lose it.
Yeah, but I think
a little bit.
Look, she has her head really low, doesn't she?
Yeah.
It's funny.
Okay, so...
Yeah, the winner's done it well.
Yeah, and Warrior Brave confirmed himself a pattern horse there, didn't he? Much bigger, of course, and, there'll be a listed race in him as well. That's the Scurry Stakes then. Delighted to say Sandown has joined the party. Let us know what you're going for later on at Sandown. Where we're going next? I think it's York, isn't it? We're going to next. I believe so, unless the guys are going to tell me.
Sure.
It is York. Yep. I'm being told in my ears. Dan Walsh and Rob Lee. Oh, yeah, of course. We're going for a real competitive handicap coming up at York. You can see on the screen there. Should have just looked at that, shouldn't I? Get your socials in. We've got a little bit of time to have a bit of a chat with you out there as well. How are we enjoying the party so far, Marc Hryhorskyj?
Yeah, hitting blanks so far, but I think there's a found one here that's potentially overpriced. This is competitive, as you say, but we're going to use the win in additional place market here on the Betfair Exchange. I'm going with another outsider here. I'm with Troubadour, trained by Michael Dodds. I think this one's well handicapped last season's form at Ponty on the 15th of June. Put in a similar effort off the mark in 99 at Newmarket July course on the 25th of June. Off an £8 lower mark here, 91. Both those runs were on good to firm ground. Record stands 5 runs, 2 wins on good to firm ground, which he's going to get today. I think the step up in trip to 7 is a concern. I just think I can see Troubadour outrunning its odds here. It's currently a 40 poke on the Betfair Exchange. So how we're going to play this, right? We're going to have a £25 win at 40s, Paul.
£25 win at 40s. Yep.
Yeah, and we'll play the 5 place market. So we've got that. I'm looking at liquidity wise at the moment. Let's have a look at the 4 play. We'll play the 4 place market at the moment. We'll take advantage of that capability.
Right, okay.
We'll have a £25 bet. We'll leave it in around 5 to 1, 6.0, and we'll keep that till we get matched.
6. Right. We shall keep an eye on that one.
Yep.
There you go. That's up there.
Yeah, thanks for that, Paul. I just think this one can outrun his odds here. Massive price.
Right,
Yeah, for Michael
getting
Dobbs.
nibbled at now.
Well, I mean, I must admit, when I looked at this race kills at the 48-hour decks, Troubadour caught my eye because I'm expecting this guy to bounce back at some point. I mean, I like a duck egg in the morning, but not 4 of them. And that's what he's got. That's what he's got next to his name.
Yeah, but
Marc is showing his true colours there.
how many positives can you expect when you're backing something at 40?
I know.
You know what I mean? You have to take a chance.
You are right. It's course win. It's Dodds and Mulrennan. It's back class. I used to quite like him. As a 2-year-old, straight 3-year-old. So interesting play there for Marc Hryhorskyj. I said, "Are you enjoying the party so far?" I chatted to Marc on the way into the Capital today, just for a quick chat and say, "Looking forward to the show, etc." And I said, "Who was on?" You were quite excited about the fact that not just Keels is coming on, who you've yet to work with, but also Mattie Batch as well. Why was that, Marc Hryhorskyj?
Yeah, Mattie, for a financial reason. Mattie actually rode a horse that was my biggest anti-post bet, was actually Coney Gree and Albert Bartlett. How quickly did you know this was a Gold Cup horse? When was the moment? And how good was he?
When he won the Gold Cup.
Flattery, Batch.
When he won the Gold Cup and I was listening to it on the radio.
Yeah, you were doing so well, Marc. You were doing so well.
Sorry, Marc, I've lost you there. Hello. Marc, first of all, Marc, we don't bring up the past. Only agree. We said that on the first show. I don't know if you were watching.
He won't be back now. Oh, dear, fair enough. But
no, he was from when he won his bumper, his first hurdle at Utoxeter, and then the 2 Grade 2s. He was always going to go. He was always going to go to the top, and he was always going to be better over fences. And yeah, I'd finished 4th in the Gold Cup on Carruthers, and he just had that little bit more than Carruthers. So yeah, if he was going to run in the Gold Cup, he was always going to go to the top. He was the best I ever sat on.
Talking about going to the top, I mean, that is brilliant, isn't it? Because Marc Hryhorskyj, young punter at the time, gets a windfall, and here he is on Betfair Live talking to you. This is talking about pinnacle of career. We know that you've won every Guineas in Jersey, but this is about as good as it gets for you, isn't it?
That's as good as it gets, yeah. What race did you back him for, Marc? Which one was it?
It was when he won.
Yeah, I backed him around Kempton time. But honestly, as soon as you were on him, we're Bartlett that day. As soon as he jumped the last, I just thought that's a Gold Cup horse. But held my powder dry, and obviously I was popular because I was in 4th year uni at the time around campus because everyone was on. But they didn't get the anti-post prices that I got. I think they got around 9 to 1. But yeah, we were happy. Done it well that day. But yeah, fantastic horse.
The man that made Coney Gree then on the panel.
Yes, I made him what he was, Marc.
Oh, he
would have been nothing without me.
Mark Brad stopped watching Spitting. All right, great stuff. All right, who's the spotlight gone for in this then? Manny Gordo, a pace angle in the race for Tim Easterby. We already mentioned how well the Easterbys are doing. Quick backup for this chap. That's where the spotlights are going. Got another social. Just seeing it's Ben Hutton that's done that. Our Yorkshire stalwart. And Mally Draycott comes back onto the show. Great to have you back on, Mally. And you say, I'm on Admiralty each way to bring a losing run to an end. I'm assuming you mean Admiralties. A really interesting quote for this chap from Roger Fell. Did you?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I wanted to run on the Friday.
I'm afraid race that we'd have won, but the owner wants to come in.
That is a backhander at the end. I mean, if he goes and wins this, then Roger's going to have some explaining to. Now, maybe that's a little bit sleight of hand because this is a punting yard, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's got some good back form at York, and he's one of those horses with no form this year, but he's got that back form at York.
Is there any Roger Fell horse, apart from 2-year-olds, that don't have good back form? You know what I mean? It's one thing, you pigeonhole yards at your back form and Roger Fell is.
The point being at York, he's been second and third in 2 big field handicaps out of 3 runs there.
You put one up in the Sizzlers, didn't you, today, of Roger Fell horse?
Did I?
Succellus, is that right?
Oh, that was yesterday.
Oh, was it? Sorry.
Yeah, that was yesterday. I had a great day yesterday. I put up something at 33s, went off 10s. Came nowhere. Put up something that was 5s, went off 7 to 4, came nowhere.
Yeah.
And then I backed horse at 7 to 2, and it won at 8s. And I don't get best odds guaranteed anymore.
Well, that's
you
it.
know, so yeah, it was a horrible day.
And here you are, Keels. We've dragged you back in, and we're delighted to have you as well. So the Sizzlers are out there. You can see them on there. But where did we go in this, Keels?
I went Queen Sergeant. I quite like. I've just got a feeling that he's an improved horse, but he's a bang 7 furlong fast ground performer. He shaped really well on his return in the Lincoln Constellation. He was 6th to Artistic Rivals. Then he won what was, essentially a Mickey Mouse race.
He won as he liked, didn't he?
He won as he liked. Beat Munter debut. Has won since. Won last week. Then he ran in the Thirst Hunt Cup, and I do think a mile's too far from him. But he only got beat 4 lengths.
Hot race that
and
was.
Since then he's run 7 furlong on soft ground. He definitely does not want soft ground.
Interesting.
So come back here. He wants a fast run race to run through horses, and there's plenty of speed in here.
There is.
And I thought it was funny. We were talking about Manny Gordo earlier on. He's one that will go forward. First time out this season, I was talking to somebody on Twitter about him, because we were falling for him all last year.
Manny Gordo?
Yeah, we had this chat. Said he's just not very good, is he? Next time out he won at 25 to 1, didn't he?
These cliff horses,
So yeah, it's just one of those silly ones. But
jump off the White Cliffs of Dover and bounce back, I think, wouldn't you?
Out of a window,
Rest of
go
us will
up, wouldn't it?
perish, but Keels somehow comes back for them.
We discussed Oh This Is Us, didn't we? Yesterday, I put him up at Newbury. He was 25 to 1 in this handicap. So there's still a lot of fun to be had with this horse, obviously, even though he's in the market in the hundreds and all that. Absolutely finished out with a washing. Forgot all about him. A week later, he won at 66 to 1 at Ascot.
Listed race.
Then he won at 18 to 1 on
Group 3.
Epsom.
We covered that last Saturday. It was
Haven't had a bean on. It's typical.
Sod's Law is the biggest thing about
horses.
punting, isn't it? You mentioned pace. There's loads on your right. Ostilio, we expect to be up there, don't we? Gifted Ruler, Fancy with Tom Marquand. Whether we can put it out first time, I'm not sure. He hasn't got the best record fresh, Tom Dascombe's horse, but he's well fancied by a lot of you. Admiralty won't be too far away. Neither will be Bashir. And I think we can keep it simple with your mate Jim Crowley here. Forget the Chelmsford run. You can't go 3 wide in a prominent position there and expect to win. And if you go back to his comeback second, I think this is a horse that could rate a little bit higher. And that's why I came down with him. I think 5 to 1 is pretty fair, actually, from stall 2. Be interesting to see where they stay here, guys, won't it?
Bigger field. Be interesting to see. I mean, like I said, if you're betting him running and you see him fan out, I'd be quite tempted to look at the ones on the outside.
Interesting. So never mind a wide draw on the round course at York. Oddly enough, we don't mind that at all. Batch, where's the tip? You're on a double.
Best year like that, back on better ground, and
Did we get the word?
we didn't get the word. No. He said he does think he'd be better on turf. He is lightly raced. He's got more to come.
Yeah.
I do like Pam Sly as a trainer. She does dual purpose.
It's Dazzling Dan, isn't it?
Dazzling Dan, yeah, and good comeback run.
He's a lovely horse, Dazzling Dan. He struggled with the handicapper a bit, didn't he? And I watched his comeback 8th, and I thought to myself, is he just gone? And then they ran him over 7 furlongs at Yarmouth.
Won, and then a good run at
It was a drop in
Newmarket.
class, but he didn't half win well.
Yeah, and then good run at 3rd at Newmarket. And I say I like Pam Sly as a trainer, so I think.
With Shane Kelly on, of course.
Yeah.
Expect him to arrive later in the season. I quite like him as well. I just came down on Bashir. So remind me, Kills, Queen Sergeant.
Queen Sergeant for
Dazzling
me.
Dan.
Dazzling Dan and Bashir.
Again, that just shows how open it is. Marc's back to the rank outside the Troubadour. That is matched, that place bet, by the way. It's all been done.
Marc
Thanks
Hryhorskyj,
for that, Paul.
who's hot and who's not then as we get nearer the race?
Yeah, just before I got into the birds, got a funny story regarding obviously going on to Paul White with Miss Winners. Back to, you remember Nando Parado went on to win the Coventry Stakes. Back to Newmarket on Davy, just couldn't get across. On at 14s, went off around 17 to 2 out of the placing. And I got that ominous text 3 weeks later. Were you on? And obviously I turned the TV on, about 4 long to go, and I was like, oh no, please get caught, 150 to 1. Yeah, there's a bit of fun. Yeah, that was an absolute sickener. It was on a Saturday as well. Pints didn't go down well that night. But yeah, back onto York, 335. Troubadour selections, it's not really moving. It's going to be 40 up to 42s, down to 48s. 173,000 in the market right now. Bashir is currently 6.2 around, and it's around the 5 to 1 mark. Again, this is very, very competitive. I do think there'll be quite a lot of pace. Again, I'm expecting absolute carnage here in running. So the drone is fueled up and ready to go for some in-running carnage to report on after this race.
Yeah, okay, all right, expect that then. Marc, you're right. I love that, Marc. How many times have we shouted at the screen, don't win?
Oh, yeah.
That is one of the perennials, isn't it? Just don't win. I mean, I guess obviously back with his still riding, the rules you can't place bets on those sorts of stuff. Do you do that with rides that you might have had and stuff like that? Do you go, don't win? Or are you just one of those nice guys? Come on, tell the truth.
No, I'm horrible.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I know the truth.
Yeah.
But, Let's get a social on the screen because Marc Smith comes on and says, like Mattie Batch, I like Dazzling Dan. Well, handicapped still and seems to be running into form again. Marc Smith, he's going to be there or thereabouts, I think, Dazzling Dan, and he kills.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of these races where you can see 2 or 3 in a line go past the post, and it is a very, very tight race. And you can see a lot of finishers, coming along, and something will hit the line 1 or 2, inches ahead of another one. So, it is wide open. I am hoping, like I said, that Queen Sergeant, and there's a little bit of a nibble for him late on, is the one. I do think he will finish nice and strongly.
Would he be a back to lay sort of thing? Do you know what I mean? Would he be because is he going to go short or is he?
I don't know. He's one of those that might go short late.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I think a lot of people do a lot of back to lays when let's get something that's going to be travelling well on the speed and everybody's looking at it, everybody can see it.
Yeah.
But then punters do like a finisher as well, don't they?
They do, and this race reminds me a little bit of RP Live today because there are a few rogues involved, aren't there?
Yeah, and he is a traveller as well. He is one. If
Golden Apollo. Let me just tell you those 2 words to you. He does tend to win.
I jumped off that cliff a long while ago.
I mean, who didn't? And of course, he pulled it out the fire, didn't he, last year? And then everyone thought, right, we're going to go on him again. Ella McCain takes the ride. There's back class. National League.
Good, isn't she? She's pretty good, Ella McCain.
Yeah, absolutely. She honed her craft, didn't she, for Dad over hurdles?
Yeah.
She used to go tearing clear at Catterick and the likes, and they couldn't sort of catch her and things like that. But you're absolutely right, Kills. She has impressed a little bit this year. But
Used to be horse. You give that a chance. Yeah, back up to 7.
Apollo. Which one? Sorry.
The Tim used to be horse. Manigordo.
Yeah, well, it's just whether it can. I don't know. Does it need?
Funny, I just thought he was all soft all last year when he was with Richard Hannon, and that's what I said. There's one I thought he's just useless, isn't he? And then he comes out and wins. So I still haven't worked him out, but I don't think he's entirely straightforward, and it might be
up there.
Bit
of a thinker. As is National League, I think. Many people have fallen for that chap, haven't they?
Yeah, he'd be one of mine, and there's lots of money for him as well now. He's he's probably second favourite now.
He was well fancied at Chester. Did you put him up at Chester at the main meeting?
I may have done.
A lot of tipsters did. I think a couple of the big outside boys did as well. I think Hugh Taylor did as well. I covered that race with a post, and he just missed it a little bit. And it was a meeting where you couldn't miss the kick, could you? And he probably has got a bigger run in him, but it's one of those red herrings, isn't it? Don't be surprised if he looks a winner at some point. So it's 5-1 the field, this race, pretty much. That's what it's saying on Betfair still, isn't it? We'll go to
Troubadour, Marc, has become a little bit of an outside punt as well.
Has it now?
Ooh.
Yeah. So I had a few quid on there on the side. That
was that you, was it?
unfortunately. Yeah, I'm already on. Don't worry.
Drones pay well, Keels. Drones pay well.
It's funny, National League, I backed that one at Newcastle as well. I think it traded pretty short when I got caught. I remember it went about 5-6 clear and Tony Hamilton was on, but yeah.
Let's see if that happens then, Marc, because they are off and running. Thanks, Marc. And Admiralty has gone straight into the lead then. Was it Chris Timms that was saying he fancied that, wasn't it, out there? Did you expect this to be leading? Manigordo and Ostilio. Of course, now with Paul Midgley, isn't he? He was a very good front runner for Simon Chris with a couple of back. Will the 6-year-old bounce back? We'll find out. Desperate. I don't want to call him Desperate Dan. He's not quite desperate yet. He's dazzling, of course, Dazzling Dan. Troubadour, the fancy Marc Hryhorskyj, out the back, along with Golden Apollo. Broken Spear out the back as well. Keels looking for Queen Sergeant.
Well, yeah, it's just sitting out the back there. He's going to start to ride along in a minute, I think. But they're going hard enough, aren't they?
40 miles.
Absolutely are. And we'll see what goes out the comfort zone. Some horses don't like it. Manigordo on the bridle. National League got a big chance. Will Bashir have a say? Bit keen early. Golden Apollo on the inside. Gifted Ruler just feeling the pinch first time out. Has he got a bit too far back, Bashir? Come on between horses then, Jim. Can you do it?
Comes Admiralty.
The trainer wanted to run it on the Friday. He said, I'd have won that race. Owners wanted to go Saturday. He's about to get picked up by Bashir. Dazzling Dan in there as well. Bashir running around a little bit. No, National League is going to come over the top of all. Unbelievable scenes here on Racing Post Live for the first time this afternoon. The rogue that is National League. Is he going to do it? The two of them, he's thinking about it. Oh, he's been gubbed. Unbelievable scenes.
Word, he's been done.
Chucked it away.
National League has definitely flopped, hasn't he? There, he's flopped his line right on the line. Bashir came to win the race. Looked like he was going to get tanked in. National League, if we didn't think he was the thinker beforehand, we do now. It's been done on the line. The pair have come clear of the lovely dazzling Dan. Is that Troubadour running on into fourth?
Yeah,
it is.
Finished fourth. You got the place.
Troubadour.
Oh,
Yeah,
I got
that
the place
one
money.
ran a
Well
good race.
done.
Well done, Marc.
Well done indeed.
A lot of money done on National League, as you can imagine. 6,600 at 101, 2,000 at 50s on 102. I had every chance, similar to that run at Newcastle when I was on. But yeah, Bashir done it well. I thought Troubadour ran a good race. So I got checked in the run, and the furlong was staying on strongly, but the winner had already flown. But yeah, I think National League could be the perfect back to lay moving forward. That one's certainly been in the notebook.
I mean, every single chance kills, wasn't it? I mean, if we thought he was thinking forehand, I think we nailed, like I said.
Yeah, well, look at it. It was finishing down the outside as well. If he'd have actually, if he'd have put it down, he'd have won.
Paul Hannigan did absolutely everything right.
Oh,
there,
absolutely. Yeah, there's nothing. You can't blame the jockey for the horse not wanting to put his head on.
Oh, that is, he's
simple as that.
as you said, he's flown down the outside, gone past that horse. That's it. And normally that's enough. The race is done. But he's given it to him back on a plate.
Owned by Richard Fahey as well, of course, isn't he, in those colours, National League. Bashir was keen early, wasn't he? And he came between horses. He saw off Admiralty's run an absolute blinder, just going a bit too hard. And then he sort of had a bit of a think about it. He's veered a little bit, hasn't he, Batch?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then I'm thinking to myself, oh, he's going to be one of them. So two thinkers have come clear. And Jim's probably thinking, well, I'm done now.
Yeah,
£7 at 100s there and running as well. So some of the lyrics got burnt there as well. National League didn't do them any favours.
There you go. So two rogues and the one that came out on top.
I'd say I'd call the winner probably more green than a rogue at the minute. He's lightly raced. He's only a 4-year-old, so
I have just called a winner a rogue.
Yeah, I've just called a winner a rogue, but I'd give him the benefit of the doubt this time.
Yeah, he's got a bit of time on his side, hasn't he?
Yeah,
But, you know.
well, he has, and he did look at Salisbury when he won last year like he might be one that goes on. Big week for Charlie Hills, isn't it? They'll give him a boost with Batage running on the Tuesday in the King's Stand. Decks for the Tuesday, out on Sunday, of course.
Are we being a bit harsh on the second as well? They're both 4-year-olds. They've got a bit. What do you?
I don't know. I don't
That's a
think
jockey, not a pundit, isn't it, Kills?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's what I'll be coming back to tell the owners anyway. I can't say it's a rogue, can I?
Get on with Richard Fahey.
This thing's a rogue. Listen, I think he's just a little bit green still. We give him. That's the
It's a day in him.
Oh, how did it go, Matty? Sell it.
Yeah, quite right. Yeah, get it over hurdles. Who knows? It could well be, couldn't it?
All this tomorrow morning.
Oh, that's really exciting race there, wasn't it? And again, they kept far side Kills.
They did keep fast. They fanned out a little bit. Yeah, I mean,
as much as they.
It looks to be where they want to go. I still have a sneaky feeling that right on the inside, it is a bit slower. It'd be interesting to see what works out in the next race. There's only 4 runners in it, so that won't matter.
Yes, of course, we've got the Ebor Grand Cup. Is that one of those winning your in races? I'm assuming it is. OK, that was a 2:35. We're going back to Sandown in 10 minutes' time. We've got a bit of time, so get your viewer questions in. We'd love to have you out. If you're just joining the party on this sizzling Saturday out there, let us know where you're watching. How is it going at the moment? You're one of the lucky ones going back to Ascot for the test event next week. Let us know. Again, a reminder, we will be with you. It's going to be a long week. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday and Saturday with a great array of talent here in the studio for you. Bruce Munnings coming back, etc. Cannot wait for that.
Just thinks, Dave. He wanted me to drive him up to York today. He would have told me that today. Could have rung the boys, couldn't I?
You could have gone and sent us a text, couldn't you?
Yeah.
It does tend to go a bit quiet on Saturdays, Batch does, and now I know why. Now I know why. Concentrating on the wheel, of course, aren't you? Oh, Keels, this is coming up to nearly nap time for you at Sandown, is it? As we watch Bashir, the beautiful-looking Bashir, go back in glorious sunshine on the Naves Mar. Jim will be happy. Here it is, Keels. It's Sandown. It's the 250. Before we go to Marc for his trade, this is one you're keen on.
Yeah, latest generation, he's favourite now. He was 10-1 earlier in the week. Anti-post. It's just one of those. This is like win or bust. So
Get any of that, Ted?
No, I've forgotten.
The world has opened
the older
up.
you get, the more forgetful you become, and I'm just like that now. I'm about even money to drink a cup of tea after I made it. I'm that one. So yeah, I've tipped. I really fancied this, and then I went out and forgot all about it, and that was it. So that's just the way.
Lines you get on this show. I'll tell you what, I interviewed Wes Ward yesterday. He was good with lines, but I'm even to drink a cup of tea after I made it. It's gone to the top.
Hey, listen, I once poured it, walked away, and it was still there, no milk in it or anything, an hour later. What I mean? That's how bad
You still
I
drank it. Latest generation then. You're hoping this makes all.
So yeah, I'm hoping they bounce out and make all. He's been too keen his last 2 starts. One was in the Autumn Stakes, Group 3 last year. The last one was a 2-year-old. Now he had entries in the Royal Lodge and the Dewhurst after winning his novice.
Yeah.
He shaped really well behind One Ruler and Maximal here on his debut over 7 furlongs. Won his novice afterwards at Donny when he was keen but made the running. Now if you can make the one in the Donny, you can make the running at Sandown for sure. Because this really does suit if you can get on the lead. And he was just way too keen. He was 6 to Hurricane Lane. He's obviously been 3rd in the Derby since, but he was well beaten 6, about 11 lengths, I think. But that was 1 mile 2, and he was just too keen.
Yeah.
So, and you know, I think Simon and Ned Christmas horses are running an awful lot better now than they were then.
Flying
as well.
again, aren't they?
So I think you know he's a 3-year-old coming here running off a mark of 93. He gets £11 weight for age from the older horses. It could prove a lot for a horse they thought might well be up to proper group company last year, getting a fair bit of weight from older, more exposed horses.
Yeah, I like him as well, Kills. Let's just get this out of the way and then we'll turn protocol on its head slightly. May as well say that I like latest generation as well. Kills sort of talked me into this a little bit yesterday morning. If there's one horse in the race that's just going to be plying his trade in better company, shall we say, for some time, it probably is him. And I do like the front-running angle or the positive angle at Sandown and front-runners track from a low draw with James Doyle on. Let's hope for me and Kills.
Let's hope he does it. I mean, it's not certain because they tried to bury him last time, didn't they?
That's
the
it.
whole
But
point.
back to a mile.
Back to a mile. Let him get on with it.
And hopefully we can talk a bit more about Simon and Ed Crisford after this race, because Simon Crisford, when he started training, what was it, however many years ago it was now, he's a fairly recent trader still, Simon, isn't he, after his job as the Boys in Blue, a Godolphins racing manager, pretty much, wasn't he? It's a seamless transition. He took target training to a new art. So latest generation for us. Before we find out what Batch likes, let's go to Marc Hryhorskyj for the Betfair trade.
Yeah, I was actually stuck between taking on the first 2 at the top of the betting, latest generation, and King's Night. Just as Paul alluded to, just the latest generation tends to pull. And the form behind Hurricane Lane's obviously solid to finish 3rd in the Epsom Derby behind Adair. And obviously second favourite King's Night also pulls. I just think over this trip and at Sandown as well, you obviously got to keep a little bit, because if this does pull, it's not going to get home. I don't think Sandown will play to either strength. These are actually the types of horses I actually like to take on in the lay market and even the place lay market. But I just don't think there's enough in the race to actually. I think it looks a weak. I don't think there's enough in the race to lay them in the place mark, because that's how I usually approach these races. So I'll be having no bet in this race. But if you just want to have a bet on my behalf, I will take full responsibility. I'll get a message from Barry Orr in about 5 minutes time. But yeah, listen, if you want to load up on latest generation, yeah, go for it.
Well, you mentioned Barry there. I saw in the Saturday Jury in the paper today that Barry was on, and he goes for Buxted 2 in this. That was a suggestion that he put up. I think.
Well, should we back Barry's selection then?
Shall we?
Yeah,
Let's back.
And every time I've been on
That's
it.
my selection as well.
Is it? There we go.
2, yeah.
All right. Well, let them batch. There you go. There's two. There's 2 for Buxted.
So we just back.
Bet them both. Bet them both. £25 both stakes, so we can't get in trouble from the boss.
What? So we back in latest generation?
Latest generation, yeah, well, a £25 win. Actually, stick 30 on that, 3.3, and we'll have a score on Buxty 2 at 20, 8.4.
Right. Okay.
Right. Charlie Post will be watching this, thinking, "Come on, boys, you need to get the old charity up today, don't you?"
Yes.
Yeah, we are
Exactly,
flying
they're both
so
done.
far for him, but
Lovely.
yeah. Okay.
He's
we're
got
up.
a course form, Buxty 2. He ran on soft ground at Chester last time when it suited him.
Ground is the key
Yeah.
with him, I think. I
He
agree
ran
with
in
that.
the Esher Cup. I know he inherited second, but he still ran well at the track.
Yeah. I hovered over him, Batch, and drawn 7 of 10, and I just wonder whether the handicapper had him about right at 78. So he needs to improve a couple of pounds. But he's got Mr. David Egan on, which is very good.
And Ian Williams again, I say, keeps that his horses are running well. So
Yeah.
it's just.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
Barnes was far from disgrace, was it, at York? So, okay, so there we go. 2 trades then for the charity and 2 tips. Latest generation, myself and Kills think he's the most likely winner. Didn't think he'd be 2 to 1. King's Night was the fav, Kills, wasn't he?
Yeah, strange fifth really, because that's strong form. 2-length fourth to Boardman at Chester. I mean, you know, at Chester you can get some funny results there, but I mean, Boardman's been absolutely flying. The runner-up, Edge to Lava's won since.
Where are we going to see Boardman next? That's my next question. He's in the Wokingham, isn't he?
He's an interesting horse for sure, isn't he?
He's
good.
in the
Hunt Cup?
Wokingham.
Was it the Hunt Cup? He's in the Wokingham.
He's in the Buckingham Palace,
Yeah.
10 to 1-ish. He's in the Wokingham, 12 to 1-ish, and he's in the Bunbury Cup as well. So he's that stiff 6 furlong, easy 7 horse, isn't he? What's he gone up for that? He won off 90. We're talking about Tim Easterby's horse that we saw winning at Chepstow. He's only gone up £6 for that. That's a bit surprising. He hosed up.
Yeah, he did, didn't he? He just came there cruising.
Like you say, the form was good. And Hay Jonesy was in third, who was probably eye-catching for a repeat.
He's Hay Jonesy, when he gets out of bed on the right side, he's a good horse, isn't he?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I bet you some of our tipsters go for Hay Jonesy next week at Royal Ascot. Okay, so there we go. Pace angle here. So what might pressure latest generation?
There isn't a lot of pace. I mean, we're assuming that latest generation will go on. Otherwise, it's hard to say. I mean, I think a couple of rags of Alexander James definitely would press the pace a couple of times at least when he was running in France. I mean,
let's get a social in there. Oh, Andy Sim is on the screen. Good to have you back, Andy. He says, Don't Tell Claire each way for me. Won and placed for me last year. Yeah, so a horse you like. Let's have a look. Don't Tell Claire. Go back. Going to need to come on a lot. Liam Canary, though, is on for the Kublers, who do well with the string that they've got. And this is a course and distance winner, Keels.
Yeah, but it does a lot of his running at a fair bit lower level than this. I mean, it might only be a 25 grand handicap these days, but it's still a class 2, and he does most of his running in 4s and 5s, really. Did win a class 4 at Newcastle in October.
Yes.
So, it's definitely got some ability. Whether he's up to this level, not entirely sure.
Course and distance winning came off a mark of 74, so what is he, £6 higher now, but absolutely can come on. Like I said, the Kublers, a lot of people talking positively about their operation because they're not the biggest, but they do.
I do think Michael Appleby will get something out of Alexander James at some point because they're so good with other trainers, cast-offs.
Curbs is on.
He didn't actually show very much last time at that was at Chester as well, wasn't it? In the Boardman race.
Yes, absolutely.
He raced fairly prominently then, but sort of went out pretty quickly.
Yeah, handicapper with this. I'm with you. One to watch, Alexander James. I think.
Yeah, I don't think I don't think he'd be doing much.
Draw not kind either for a front runner, is he? He's going to have to do a bit of.
Yeah, exactly. That's the other thing. The likely pace angles were a bit further out. But I mean, this is we're talking as though we know that latest generation is going to bounce out and do it.
Yeah.
And we don't. I mean, I hope he does.
It's around 2-1. This one could easily see this one going off around the 7:04.15.8 mark. But yeah, the backers are certainly on this one.
Yeah, I mean the money for him suggests that this might be what's going to happen.
What price was he when we were talking about him yesterday? It was
about 7-2, I think he was yesterday morning. So he's he's just been very strong.
This is a right old punt, isn't it? Sometimes we talk guys about horses that are 66 into 20s, but it's really the horses that 3-1 into 2-1 on a Saturday and lower.
It takes some money on a Saturday, doesn't it? Yeah.
It does. Take some money on a Saturday. All right, take some tipping on a Saturday too. Let's see who's right. Away we go then in the 250.
Right, well, he's not holding him up, that's for sure, because he's on there. And
again, he's just keen a little bit. He's going to take a lead, Kills, on the inside. So, I
thought he jumped out really well, and I thought he was going to let him go. But
and he's steady, so that suggests in his homework that they don't want to be doing it.
I mean, I don't want to be there at all, to be honest.
When you're right, Kills, about lack of pace, because at the moment, Delicate Kiss on the inside is a reluctant leader. From Rhubarb Bikini, where on earth did they get that name from? I bet there's a story there. On the outside, Alexander James trap wide from that draw. King's Knight keen in fourth at the moment. Dogged keen on the inside as well. Buxted 2 caught on the wing. That won't be ideal. Then comes Don't Tell Claire, got a nice run in the race. They're all pretty keen, aren't they? Latest generation. He's going well, but he's going to need them to come back.
Well, I wouldn't be backing him from there. I really wouldn't.
What price has he gone then? Right out to around about 11-4 on the exchange. You can see in front of your eyes. Trey Fleur's out the back and Repertoire for David Simcock. Surprise, surprise. A Simcock call sat in last. Batch, would you like to call it with 2 finals to run?
I like mine. He's running on. Buxted 2.
Here he comes.
Yeah, here he comes on the outside.
Latest generation
needs to get a break, but
King's Knight needs a run, doesn't he, on the inside? Where's Don't Tell Claire? That's warming up as well a little bit. Dogged there. Right on the outside, Trey Fleur. Mick Shannon. Here we go. Okay, he's on the inside. Don't Tell Claire coming between. Latest generation. James Doyle is trying to keep him there, covered as he can. Has he given first run, though, to Trey Fleur? Now we kick into the hill. King's Knight too little too late, I think. Latest generation, though. Here we come. Can he do it? Doyle gets stuck into him. It's a bit high, and he's ducked in a little bit. Winner has gone. Bird flown, latest generation, all too late in second. Behind, Trey Fleur, SDS, Sandown as well as anyone for Mick Shannon. Paul Kealy.
The second wins that if he makes the running. Absolutely certain about that. I just don't know why they didn't. It was all there for him, no pace whatsoever. He's ended up getting himself into trouble and then finishing. I mean, with 2 finals to go, you wouldn't back him to finish 5th, would you?
The closest have come to the 4, though, haven't they? And
yeah, but I mean, it was still. he was just still in the wrong. He was in the wrong place from the off. I mean, I'd have been laying him straight away. I can't believe he was going shorter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with Paul there. I mean, I was looking when he was the first one under pressure. I think maybe the layers had got the wrong horse, the wrong colours. He's trading around 2-1, and he was the first one off the bridle. And then pulled early as well, but actually done well to finish so close in the end. But
yeah, he's still a well-handicapped horse. But I mean, I would have made a running with him. I really would.
Sometimes you've got to keep it simple.
Yeah.
And as you say, that there was hardly any pace early. He could have got him up there,
the last thing you
settled.
wanted is a keen horse buried in the middle of Sandown, isn't it?
Yeah.
He's going to run into trouble.
Yeah.
You're absolutely certain to
And
make
if they've gone slow, get out in front, he might settle, and then you can dictate the pace then.
Ex-Andre Farb horse. Do you remember? He used to have a lot of class, Trey Fleur. I'm trying to look back. He was second to Thunder Snow at Chantilly. Would that have been the French Derby? Yeah, no, it was Prix Jean Brat. So look, classy horse. Ken Condon couldn't get the best out of him. He's gone to Mick Shannon, had 4 runs, probably just found himself on the right mark. But again, Sylvester de Souza at Sandown kills. He's absolutely mustard around there, isn't he?
Yeah, but he's mustard anywhere when he's on form, isn't he? Yeah, you know, a lot of these top jockeys when they're riding well.
Still 10 though. That's why I didn't like him.
I don't worry dramatically about the draw at Sandown. I think you can still get a position. There's enough time.
Marc did 2, but let's concentrate on him before we move on.
He's keen. Well, he has a little barging match with Latest Generation, didn't he?
Yeah. I mean, he's won that despite the first 2 furlongs not going wrong for him. Trey Fleur. We're looking back at the replay.
You know what? I think the Buxted 2 and Latest Generation, they've run like 2 horses that were keen early, trying to do it all on the one breath. They've settled. The race is gone. They've had to fill himself up again.
Yeah,
and they both sort of finished again, haven't they? They've run like them. That horses they've just done a little.
He's
bit
in the
too
Royal
much.
Hunt Cup, the winner. Marc Hryhorskyj. I'm seeing a price come through. Have you got that yet, Marc?
for the Royal Hunt, you said, yeah? I'll get that for you. I'll come back to you.
Yeah, okay. And they would have needed, because they had Storting for the Royal Hunt Cup, didn't
There
they?
has
I thought
been a
he was
Royal
bit
Ascot
too low.
winner come from this race.
Go on.
Fennel Bay in 2012.
Last 3-year-old.
Last 3-year-old to win this race. And he won the King George, the 5th handicap, over a mile and a half.
Blimey.
For Marc
Typical
Johnson.
Marc Johnson horse. Yeah. Okay, so backing up quickly is something that can be done with the right horse, and he has got some back class.
Yeah, I think the other thing with Latest Generation here is he doesn't pick up straight away anyway. So when you're behind horses, if you haven't got that tactical speed to go...
I've got a question for you, Kills. He's looked a tad awkward, hasn't he? And he's a bit keen.
He might be a tad awkward. I
He's
think
well handicapped, isn't he?
He might
No
be a
doubt
tad
about
awkward,
that.
but he's won from the front in the past. I think that's what they should do with
Now,
it.
so that's annoyed you, because as a punter we get annoyed, as anything. I imagine a jockey as well, Batch. And are you going to give him another chance? Because there's a chance that he might have bumped into one here.
I might have to write to the trainer and say, "What are you doing? Go from the front, please."
A memo to Simon Crisford, who we are hoping to work
It
with.
will say,
later on.
"Keep your bloody nose out of it. What on earth's it got to do with you?"
Yeah, well, that's quite right.
Pretty much what he's entitled to do, but
Yeah, but I don't know. It was drawn on the inside. He's had to come all the way wide, hasn't he? So I'm tempted to say he might just have bumped into one here. He just looks a little bit awkward.
Oh, no, I'm tempted to say he was the best horse in the race.
Okay, there we are. What do you think out there? Let us know. The 250 at Sandown, we're rocking through. That means we're less than an hour away from the last race here on Racing Post Live, which is the Pavers Catherine Memorial handicap, that brilliant 3-year-old handicap sprint at York. That will be coming up next. I think we are going to York next, aren't we, guys? Because it's the 305
Yep.
coming up. There you are. Mark it on the screen. Just look at the screen, Dave. The producers are probably saying to themselves, and it's nap time for me in this race. But I'll let Marc Hryhorskyj take it first.
Yeah, I've got the betting up for the Royal Hunt Cup. Which runner was it you're looking for? Anything
Trey
particular?
Fleur, my friend. Trey Fleur.
Fleur, let's see what price this one is. Could be a big price. I'm just waiting on the Betfair price at the moment. It's actually just been suspended there. I'll need to come back to you on that one. But yeah, we'll jump back onto the 305. I'll give you the Royal Hunt Cup prices in a second.
I'm better connected at Betfair than Marc Hryhorskyj is, because I can see
It's
they've gone
got Barry
25.
It's got Barry on.
You got your emails up, haven't you?
That's it, Mark. I'll tell you, don't worry about it. You can send the check away. And actually, Mark, this gives us a decent minute before we look at the next race at York. We've got just the 4 runners in it, so we can whistle through it. And I can tell you the winner now is on top of the betting. But top jockey at Ascot, we were talking about. I was talking about it with Mark, and Mark said he's going to go away and speak to the traders and see if he can get a top betting market on the exchange, which we have done. Who's going to be Fav then before we go to Mark for this? It's obvious. Who's going to be Fav?
Frankie.
Frankie.
But 3 or 4 years ago, it would have been
Ryan Moore.
Ryan Moore.
He'll be second
Absolutely.
Fav, will he?
Followed by
Will he be second Fav?
He is second fav, yeah, absolutely. We'll see if we can guess the prices afterwards. But it's a really interesting market, isn't it, out there, of course.
Crowley will be up there, would he?
Aidan O'Brien, obviously, we think will probably do a Willie Mullins, don't we? Probably. Even when they're going into the last 2 days and they look beat, they usually put it out, Ballydor, the top trainer. Frankie is the favourite. Ryan Moore's second favourite. Third favourite, your mate. Crowley. I tell you what, you're good at this. Absolutely.
One,
yeah. Did he just get...
They're the
out of
three
it last
fancy
year?
runners.
Did he just get touched off for it?
Sandown had a great... Thankfully,
Frankie done him
he
on the
had a
last
great-
day, was it?
Yeah,
Last
he
year or the year
Frankie
before?
did him on the last day, that's right.
He picked all the right horses.
Because I remember speaking to Jim and he said that Carden was the one that got away and it would have absolutely on the Saturday. So Jim Crowley, followed by William Buick and title contending Oisin Murphy, James Doyle, Andrea Atzeni and SDS. Marc, talk to us about this market. We'll see what the viewers think about it maybe after this.
Yeah, we've got a sportsbook market available at the moment. Frankie's 6-4 at the top of the Ben. Reimer just close in behind, around the 7-4, close second favourite. Obviously, the price available on the sportsbook at the moment, but I'm trying to push to get an exchange market available for this as well, because obviously I know people like to take on jockeys. We'll get some liquidity in that market, just similar to when Brian Hughes and Harry Skelton took it on, because I know it was very popular. But yeah, you'd imagine it is going to be close, and especially with Frankie, he'll need John Gosden to certainly have a good week to get that title at Royal Ascot.
I'll tell you what, we'll find out whether I am better connected at Betfair then, because I reckon if I text Barry, that will come up on the old exchange. But who's the one you'd like to get then, Marc, in that? Because there is one, I sense.
I'd probably say Ryan Moore.
Oh.
I think he's around a 5-2 chance. That's how I'd price that. But yeah, I'm happy to lay. I'm happy to have 4-7 in the field here. I'll take that all day.
I can imagine that would be a really volatile market, Kills, when it up and down all the way. It's usually Frankie at the moment, isn't it? Because obviously that Gold Cup day when we thought he might go through the card, and since then it's just gone his way. But with lack of 3-year-old power, I suppose he'll jump.
Yeah, I think you've got to take him on. I mean, John Gosden saying basically what he's got at the classic generation is rubbish.
Some statement that, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I mean, we all knew it, but
yeah. Well, he's come out. He's been honest and said, "This is what I've got." So he's not going there with his strongest team. So they're going to be short enough.
But the older horses, the 3 older horses he's running, Stradivarius, most people would expect to win. Paddis Peer, people already think he's won, and Lord North, who is favourite for the Prince of Wales.
Yeah,
So
you can't take. He's got 3 cracking.
There's 3
chances,
Frankie
obviously,
winners
but
there.
You can't just take it as a given they're going to win, can you?
But the firepower is there, is it? It's the lack of 3-year-olds and.
Yeah, exactly.
handicaps.
Yeah, I mean, how many runners are he going to have? How many runners is Aidan O'Brien?
Whereas Ward will give him runners, but Johnny Velasquez is staying all week. So
yeah, exactly.
not as
He's
many as
staying all
normal.
week, so he won't get as normal. So, and you'd imagine Velasquez will be on the main ones, will he not?
He is pretty much. He is indeed.
So
who in that list entices Kills initially?
I'm not 100%. I'm not 100% certain. They're not sort of races that I bet in. They're not the markets that I bet in, to be honest. Unless I think there's a monster mistake.
Do you do it at Cheltenham?
Nope.
No. Okay. I was curious.
I backed Gordon Elliott when he won the trainer for the first time. I think it's the only time I've ever had a bet on it.
But that didn't entice you back into.
No, not really.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Jim Crowley, do you think he can go one better this year?
Again, looking at what he's got, I don't think he...
Well, Batash would be the obvious.
Batash.
Mahafet
He did have another one that he was...
Is Mahavid not going now?
No, it's the other one that's going.
Royal Ascot.
Alec, what's the one? Alekar. He's going to take the place, I think, of that chap.
Right.
William Buick would be interesting for me with Godolphin at 10-1. I think he's just riding so well. I'm a bit surprised that Oisin, the current champion jockey's not a bit shorter as well in that market. Let's get a social on the screen then. Who's coming in? Hugh Masson says, Frankie, quite short considering he doesn't have many 3-year-olds. They're seeing this as well, Hugh. But this is Mr. Ascot out there, isn't it? Like he's picked up a spare, isn't he? There's a 2-year-old, an American 2-year-old. It's the Queen Mary, of course. Astor, I think, is the name of the horse, isn't it? I have to ask TC Tom Collins about that one. But he's going to pick outside rides, isn't he? And
Yeah, he's round Ascot. He's like me round Plumpton, really, Mr. Plumpton.
Mr. Jersey.
Mr. Jersey, yeah.
You're going back to Jersey, of course.
It's the same. The prize money ain't so good, ain't it?
I don't know. I reckon it probably is. You are going back to Jersey. That's just great sign of things.
Yeah, 25th,
happening
first meeting again. So
since the global pandemic hit.
yeah,
So
all fingers crossed after the 21st. That
the champion jockey returns to Jersey if you're waiting.
to regain the title.
Absolutely. All right, brilliant stuff. Great to know Batch so busy. Let's move on then. Mark Smith comes back onto the party and says, Roberto Escobar in the next looks different class to these, and being so lightly raced, he still could be anything. I like this. I said yesterday on the feature show we did, this would be my nap of the weekend. Barry Orr in the Saturday jury has said, also good company. he's going to nap this as well. I guess it's just a price thing now, Marc Hryhorskyj.
Yeah, I think he'll certainly be popular on course with some of the lads, Roberto Escobar. But yeah, there's only 4 runners here. Looks quite competitive. I actually want to use the in-running lay facility on the Betfair Exchange here. I want to take on David O'Mara's McAwee. This one was actually favourite a couple of days ago, about 40 hours ago. This one was around 7-4, 2-1. But it's drifting now on the Betfair Exchange, currently around 4.3. But it's been quite weak in the betting all morning, but it's traded short on the run on the last 3 occasions without winning. York the 22nd of May, BSP 9.4, hit 3.2, finished 3rd of 7, around 9-4. Goodwood, BSP 5.6, hit 1.7, finished 2nd. And Bath 9.6 and hit 6.4. So what we're going to do here, Paul, is we're going to do an in-running lane. We're just going to keep it in there just to exchange just to showcase the exchange capabilities. Put a lane around 2.6 just for a £50 stake, and we'll see if we can get matched. I think this one will make the running.
Just to keep bet.
Yep, we'll do that. Yep.
That's it. Done.
Beautiful. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Marc. We better crack on because we digressed, didn't we, with Royal Ascot going into this. I like Roberto Escobar. Comeback run at Ascot last time, screamed like he needed it, and they're going up and trip. That race is working out extremely well. He will do for me. Just think he wins. Batch?
I've put McAwee in. I'm going to stick with a consistent salt, unless you don't win that often, but today's our day.
You're learning the game here, Batch. That was compact. Honestly, at the start of his RP Live career, that would have been War and Peace. Keels.
Yeah, no, I got to waffle on until they jump off. Thanks, Matt.
Well, let Keels waffle on. But this was the horse that you spoke to me about when we talked about this race initially yesterday, because you wanted Illarab to work. You thought Illarab...
No. A friend of mine was telling me, he said, look, he rang me up. He said, look, Illarab is 8-13. He said he can't possibly run on good...
Tony Calvin, wasn't it? The Betfair Supremo.
Can't possibly run on good firm ground. So you've got to get on this Maccabi. It'll be much shorter than that. And of course, I didn't. No, my angle. I'm a bit like Marc with my angle, which is a lay rather than anything else. But my lay is Ranch Hand, and I'm getting him out of the first 2 because I'm absolutely convinced that he's a soft ground.
This is a place lay.
Yeah, this is a place lay. It's about 1 point. I've laid a bit of 1.97, I think it was.
Now, Paul, now to 2.185.
Yeah, I just think he wants a bit of cut in the ground. And although there was a guy on Twitter yesterday who reckoned that the going yesterday was on the soft side of good rather than as fast as they're saying it. But the times have quickened up a bit today, judging by that 7 furlong handicap, which was just a second outside standard. So I think it's going to be quick enough for him not to like it. And I think also, I think it's a tight little heat. You can see any of them winning. Certainly wouldn't rule out Frankie and Red Verdon.
Right, and you can see there, we did have a social on, didn't we? Of course, Frankie's only ride of the day. That is an interesting thing.
Last year's winner.
Last year's winner.
Yeah.
Red Verdon. Yeah, okay, so back over the course and distance.
Needs to find a bit of form, though, really.
We're expecting him to lead then. Are we expecting Frankie to just get a softie here? Could do, couldn't he? Roberto Escobar never been over the trip.
Has Ranch Hand gone from the front before?
Good shout. Good shout. He probably has done, hasn't he?
I can't remember, to be honest. But
okay.
To the front.
Here we go then. All right, off and interestingly, indeed, as you hear from Martin, Jim Crowley going for a quick double then after Bashir in the previous 7 furlong handicap. He goes to the front. Ranch Hand wants a bit of it as well. Looks like he's got a little bit warm under Oisin Murphy. Enjoying that will be Aussie Tom Marquand in 3rd and anchored out the back. Right out the back, Red Verdon. Absolutely loves it here. Frankie's only ride of the day, which is interesting in itself, isn't it? Because Frankie said at the start of this season, I've told my agent I don't want to go to Windsor on a Monday. It was quite glamorous in itself. So it shows you that he's just picking his rides.
Yeah, well, and he's gone a long way to York, hasn't he?
Absolutely. Yeah, quite right. So for last year's winner, and Ed Dunlop as well. He's bounced back after John Leaper, of course, in the Derby last week. What sort of pace they're going, Batch?
It's average pace, 35 miles an hour, yeah, for a mile 6 race. Travelling well.
35's quicker than the 32 that we normally see, isn't it? They're actually not dawdling. McAwee from the front then, Marc. Did you expect this? Are we late? Are we matched?
Yeah, no, we're not matched at the moment. He's actually training around 4.7. They just seem to be the backers somewhat on Roberto Escobar here. There's not been that much movement though, McAwee. And we'll see what happens when they come around the bend. But as you say, it's a long way home at York. Just hopefully get this one matched and somebody can pick her up later on.
I guess on collateral form, that Ascot form with Tribal Craft, who beat McAwee at the course last time. Roberto Escobar shouldn't be too far away from her, and he is just creeping a little bit closer on the inside, as is Res Verdon. Keels, would like to call it.
No, nothing's happened yet, has it? They've just been running well within themselves. I think we are going to wait and see. I'll be interested to see who goes where. And I may just blindly back whichever one comes widest and see if my theory works.
Okay, so Keel's looking to still get involved in running then. Will you be doing the same? Good luck wherever you are playing, because it's all a bit after you at the moment. It's all a bit nice and gentle, isn't it? And McAwee has had the easy lead, but they are snapping at her heels, Mattie Batch.
Yeah, might inject a little bit of pace. If he was O'Sheen, he knows this all stays further, so I'd be maybe taking it up soon and saying, right, this.
Yeah, they're back in McAwee and running here. It's 5-2.
Put a bit of stamina into this.
Yeah, it remains to be seen whether Ronchan will feel the pace now. Of course, Roberto Escobar, really impressive when he won at the course last year. He's just starting to wind up. We're expecting him to stay, but he has yet.
Yeah, we're matched.
Okay, we're matched. Marc Hryhorskyj's absolutely over the moon. You can go back to your drones now, my man. Here comes Red Verdon on the near side. Then Kills is going to get involved on this one, I think. Roberto Escobar rowing away. Ronchan not letting himself down. Had a hard race at Sandown last time, didn't he? He is beat. Kills is hoping he doesn't come out of two. He's going to look in that way. Roberto Escobar, go on then, Roberto. Steal it out of him. Red Verdon looks the danger at the minute. McAwee then. She does tend to duck it in a finish. Is she the strongest? Will she outstay Roberto? Tom Marc on. Looks like he's got it. Go on then. The further you go, the better you go. Red Verdon on the near side. Come right up against the rail, Frankie. Is he going to get the second? Let's look for this. But Roberto Escobar's gone. William Haggett's got another good stayer in the making. Happy days. Red Verdon was second. Kills in clover with the lay, my man.
Yeah, Raj had out of the frame. That was all we needed. It just, he's just not quite the same horse. I mean, I think Roberto Escobar is probably the best horse in the race. Notice that they all came away from that far rail though. They all came towards the centre.
And Frankie right towards the stands rail, Batch.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Roberto Escobar has sort of drifted a little bit further across, hasn't he, in the end? But they all avoided the far rail this time.
Yeah, he obviously loves York, doesn't he? This chap. That's what is he 2 from 2 there now. I remember when he won at the course, he arrived and sort of announced himself on the scene. He then went to back to York, of course. He disappointed somewhat, according to the market, in the Great Voltage Stakes. They tried to make him into a St Leger horse, didn't now. But you'd be looking at the Yorkshire Cups now and Lonsdale Cups Kills, wouldn't you? He was obviously too high for an Ebor.
Is he too high for an Ebor?
He was 103. What was he? 103 going into that.
What did Mustard win it off?
Well, do you remember we spoke to Haggis, didn't we? He was talking about Ilarab for the Ebor, and he said he's going to be around about, I can't remember what he said Ilarab was going to be. He goes, that will make it tricky. We might have to find another one with a glint in his eye. But I think, this is...
I mean, it's one of those, because, I don't know what the money is this year, but because the money went up absolutely dramatically, it's almost Melbourne Cup standard, isn't it? You get some very good horse. We're not quite, but you know what I mean? Mustard Jeer. Let's have a look.
I wonder if
There's a lot of improvement left in this horse as well.
I love him.
You can see
nice green big baby horse.
He's hit the front. He's hanging left. You see Tom Marc there. He's pulling him back with his right. He's just giving him a few taps with his left. He's all over the place. So there's plenty more to come from this chap.
Yeah, a lot of people wanted to get...
He looks nice, yeah.
And McAwee, of course, who's done the donkey work. Marc, fair play. You had that. Actually, Ranch Hand has come last. So lots of improvement for this winner. Yeah, you called it right, Marc. What's the story of the race?
Yeah, for Roberto Escobar, it's actually hit around 10-1 for £12 there. But again, as Mattie said, it looks like an improver. Just looked a bit green under pressure as well. But I was pretty confident that McAwee was going to get picked up. It's not the best battler. And again, Paul was banging the money of Ranch Hand as well, getting that one out of the places. So winners all round, happy. Yeah,
I'm seeing 16-1 for the Ebor, by the way. I think it is a win in your in race, isn't it? But I don't know. I think William might have some lower rated horses. We'll see.
You need to be, high enough to get in it. But Muntaha won of 109, Mustard Jeer won of 108. It's that sort of race now.
Right. So we'll be looking for the quotes from Mr. Haggis immediately.
If you're not, if you're not in the hundreds, you probably don't even get a run these days. Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm looking just down to see the horses that have won it in the last couple of years. Clever Cookie and won it back to back. Dal Harrid was another Haggis winner. Trying to think what he did. Marmello. We are talking about Melbourne Cup type horses, aren't we?
You are definitely. Yeah. It depends this year. Now, one, how much money is there? How many of these stayers have already gone to Australia?
Yeah.
But the key thing is there was a massive injection of money in this and the SES as well, wasn't there? And if you get all that money, then they're going to run group horses off high marks because the money's worth running for.
But Glencadam Glory, I remember, was beaten in this race last year and then was second in the Ebor. So look, this is the beauty of these post-race comments, Batch, isn't it? Of course,
yeah.
You've got to read between the lines there. Where would you go? Would you go higher than the? I say higher than the Ebor. It's extremely valuable, but handicap coming. Do you think this is a proper group race stayer in the making?
he looks like to me, because I like the look of it, I think there's improvement there. And he's not helped Tom at all there. And when, it's just a matter of a case, when the penny drops, there's a lot more to come and there's a bigger engine there. So yeah, definitely, I think you've got to set your sights high, definitely.
In Cheveley Park to buy him, don't we, and send him over a bit of birch. That would be something. He's a massive old boy, isn't he? Anyway, there you are. I'm delighted to say that one went in. Hopefully a lot of you went with that as well. That is the penultimate race at York. Where are we going next? Chester, is it, I believe. Back to Chester we go. Up to the Rudy for what I found, I must admit, a tricky looking mile 4 handicap at 320. There you can see the market in front of your eyes. Man of Riddles for Spotlight Verdict. I'll find out who did that Spotlight Verdict. I like Man of Riddles as well. Before we hear from Marc Hryhorskyj. Who doesn't?
It's actually the one that I want to oppose here. We're using the lay facility again here. I want to take Man of Riddles on in the place market here. One on debut Wolverhampton, the 15th of March. Done it quite well. It was held up that day. Looked quite big and gangly. I'm unable to back that up next time out. Goodwood stepped up the listed company, well beaten. It's drawn here. It's drawn 2 here, which you'd assume would probably be a positive. But I don't think this horse has got the pace to hold that pitch on the inside, and I think he could be quite far back here. And I don't think that this one's going to be suited by the course. Sharp tons at chest, I don't think will suit here. So what we're going to do is we're going to lay this one in the 2 and the 3 place market. We're going to have a £25 lay. It's currently around 3.75 just now, if we can get matched there.
Right, okay. 25?
Yeah, we'll take 3.65. Yeah, we'll take that.
For 25, yeah?
Yeah. And we'll lay it in the 3 place market as well, around 2.4. We'll take that just to showcase the exchange capabilities, because if you really don't fancy a horse, and you can lay it in the place market as well. Yeah,
okay. What, another 25 in both?
Yeah, 25 as well, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and that has been done.
So Marc's charity trade out there is a take-on of Man of Riddles, who I said that I liked. And Kills, did you say you liked it as well?
Sort of. I mean, this was, Marc had a race that he didn't like earlier on, and this is one that I don't really like.
Yeah.
But when you look at Man of Riddles and the price he was, they thought he was good enough to run in a listed race at Goodwood last time, and okay, he finished last, but they thought he was good enough, and he's running off a mark of 80 in a handicap, and
exactly.
That just interests me at the price, because I think that all of these are much of a muchness.
Yeah,
really. I could understand why Oman has gone favourite, because he was favourite last time he ran, and I think although he has a bit of soft ground form, that getting beaten miles at Haydock and heavy ground is not something to hold against a horse, is it? Because it's a law unto itself, that track with a sort of sticky, gluey ground that it gets in it. Yeah. I'm sure you've ridden it over jumps, haven't you?
Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah, absolutely. And on the flat, seemingly, as well, yeah. Do they get that sort of ground in Jersey?
No.
Carpet?
Carpet.
Is it?
A very warm one.
Take me over there, is that right? You have to take me over there one day, Batch.
You've got to come over.
You've just summed it up, though, for me, Kills. I agreed. I looked at this race and went, I've got to find one in this. And you don't always have to find one in every race. Safe gambling is our MO here. Just enjoy the show, enjoy the sport, learn something for the race, basically. These are 3-year-olds over a mile and a half. That's half of them won't stay, often do. But at the price, I was expecting him to be more forgiving in the market, shall we say. That Goodwood listed race, I don't have really too many problems with it. It was a flop, probably, but the Wolverhampton runners worked out okay. Simcock won this race the last time it was run in 2019 with a horse called Durston. Do you remember him? He was a nice progressive horse. This is just the sort of horse that Spencer and Simcock, I think, can do well with. What did you think, Batch?
I liked Military 2 Steps. I know, looking at jockey bookings, outside of the 3 of the Mark Johnson horse, but it won at Beverley a good to soft, and then got beat at Lingfield on soft. Now, Lingfield soft, I've never been to Beverley, but I'd say there's nothing like soft ground at Lingfield compared to any other racecourse in the country. Man of Riddles back on better ground, appreciate that. Classic Lord, to say he won the Haydock race that Oman was in, but again, it's heavy ground. Yeah, I want to go Military 2 Steps, just to improve in type. And I was going to give
Kingscote and Johnson around
Chester.
Chester.
Yeah, going to give him another chance, yeah.
He's by Jukebox Jury, isn't he?
Jukebox Jury, yeah.
Johnson trained, of course, and just looking down his stats, there is some soft ground in there, but he's related to a fast ground winner as well. Stall 1 around Chester for Mattie Batch then. Okay, how far away? We've got a couple of minutes to talk. Let's get some more social interaction going on. So you've heard it. Man of Riddles for me. Kills likes him as well. Bigger price than we were expected. Military 2 Step for Batch, and a take on Are you taking on Man of Riddles? You are, Marc, aren't you? So this is the first disagreement on the
Yeah.
panel, really, this afternoon.
I think it's certainly off 80. It could be interesting. But I just think around Chester, and this one's running still, I just think this one will be too far back. It's quite a big type. I think it'll be more suited to maybe like a Sandown or something like that. I think Chester, undulate, I just don't think the track will suit. I'm willing to take a chance in the 2 and 3 place market here.
Richard O'Brien then, it is who did the spotlight writing. Let's get some social interaction up. Mark Smith comes back on and said, "Love is golden in the next at Chester." I'm pretty sure Barry liked that as well, didn't he, in the Saturday jury? Course form and Franny on. What's not to like? Yeah, one of the 2 Johnson horses in here, Keels, course and distance winner, of course.
Yeah, well, there's 3 in there because Mattie's Rag is the other one as well. So he's got
again is the other one, isn't it?
He's got nearly after field. Of course, this is winner with Franny Norton on what isn't there to like. I mean, there isn't anybody better around Chester than him, is there? Like,
His backyard, innit, Franny?
Yeah, I mean, in fairness, he's a good jockey everywhere, isn't he?
Yeah.
But I mean,
Just something about Chester.
It's like anything, innit? You ride a few winners
you
somewhere.
get a reputation and you get put on horses.
You ride
with
a few
chances.
winners
Bit
somewhere.
like
yeah.
Adam Kirby, everyone calls him an all-weather jockey. I mean,
Yeah,
the fact that you can ride around places like Chelmsford, Lingfield, I can't imagine they're easy courses to ride.
Why does Kirby ride on the weather in the summer? Why does he do that?
Yeah.
Purely and simply to keep his weight down. He can't have a break.
Like during the winter, sorry.
He can't have a break because his weight would just boom.
Yeah, of course.
So going abroad, there's probably not enough out there. He'd stay here and pick up good rides.
You don't have him down for May down in the lights, do you?
No, he stays here, keeps his weight under control. He has 4 or 5 rides every meeting.
Godolphin use him. And
Yeah.
It's a great point that Kills makes, though. Charlie Post calls them jockey tracks, the all-weather tracks. So that's kind of sums it up.
They can't be easy to ride, can they? Sharp bends, like, what I mean. You
Us
get
jump
12,
jockeys,
14
we
runners.
struggle with it. They can't do it. They go there and have an absolute nightmare around
Have you
there.
ridden in many jumpers bumpers on the all-weather?
Yeah, they're not. I don't like them. They never get the pace right. They either go too slow, too
Lingfield
quick.
jumpers bumpers are a nightmare,
Yeah.
aren't they? They
And
really
do you know
are.
what? As well, there's, as I was talking on the show before, the flat boys there, they've been doing it for years. We go and do a jumpers bumper there, and there's people falling off, murdering each other, and you just.
Yeah, it's time. You're also riding big horses, aren't you?
Of course you are,
Around
yeah.
there. Like,
Big
you know what I
strapping,
mean?
yeah.
sort
National
of,
One horses going around them bends.
Saw a couple of accidents, didn't we, early in the year
Yeah.
as well? It was really unpleasant to watch. But we are at Chester, which takes a lot of riding, of course, and certain jockeys love it. Richard Kingscote on Mattie's selection, of course. Jamie Spencer around Chester is an interesting one, isn't it? Let me just look up his ride while I throw out to Kills. And Mark's point is, I think, a valid one. You're always worried sometimes about these Simcox courses getting too far back. Never mind around Chester, Kills.
Well, yeah, exactly. It's not the best idea. It'd be interesting to see what he does on him. Obviously, he's a very inexperienced horse. Well, one of the least experienced horses in the race, and he didn't look entirely straightforward.
He's not going to make it, is he?
You do not see. Well, I mean, you do see Jamie Spencer.
I don't think the horse has got the pace,
riding
though.
horses from the front.
You don't see Simcox
You don't see
horses riding.
Jamie Spencer riding David Simcox horses from the front.
No.
You know what I mean? I think there might be a punch up afterwards if he did.
JBM comes on the show and says, side shot is my pick. Very consistent. He is that. I'm not sure he's the full ticket, though, this chap, side shot. I've watched him a couple of times. Was he behind Oman last time? Just one place behind him, wasn't he?
Yeah,
It's a Gosden horse, top weight and a handicap with Rab Avlin on. And he might like the track, I think, but I'm not sure whether he's totally all there. I'm just looking for...
I don't think this is a race to be confident in anything, is it?
11% strike rate at Chester Spencer.
Do you think if Side Shot was really fancied, do you think Frankie would have gone there?
I don't know.
I think Oman will lead, guys, despite the fact we've got Johnson horses in there. Because I remember Tom Collins really fancied this at A-Dot last time, said he would lead. He missed the kick slight and he couldn't lead. And he's got the
he
sense...
just sunk in the ground as well.
There was that. Blinkers on first time. Rob Hornby, great comeback for him so far this summer. He is on. All right, then off we go then.
Yeah, he has popped out now.
Man of Riddles. If he's not last, he will be soon. I love his golden.
I know, Love Is Golden's dogging it a bit.
He's a course and
spat the
distance
dummy
man
out.
there. He's absolutely hating it at the minute. Who is going to lead? There you go. Omar, first time blinkers. They think he needs to lead. He's doing so, leading Glenn again. Joe Fanning already off the mark in the first race, wasn't he? Of course, is in our 140. Side shot there in third place. Lovely spot at the moment there for you, JBM, that is for sure. Classic Lord under William Cox, taking 3 off. He's got a good position. Military 2-step just off them a little bit. Still looks a little bit green out the back in midfield. Man of Riddles, going to come from nearly last, but just latching on now is Love of Golden under Mr. Chester, Franny Norton Kills.
Yeah, I mean, fairly straightforward what we thought would happen. Spencer will be near the back, Oman near the front. A little bit keen from side shot in there. I think I can see what Marc was saying about he's a bit of a unit, isn't he? Man of Riddles, but he's actually moving quite well around it. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, whether he is much better than the 80 horse that the handicapper has him. But Oman going nicely from the front at the moment.
Yeah, he is indeed an unpestered batch, and just dropped the anchor slightly.
Yeah, just got his lead. Just took him back a bit, and they're going a nice even pace for me.
Yeah, okay, side shot right in the side. We'll find out about his attitude, won't we? Because no excuses at all. They're going to slightly start to ramping it up then. We've got just under
half a mile
under
to go.
6 furlongs to go, haven't we, basically? Again, they're a little bit steady still, isn't it? Everything's settled okay, though. Oman then, when's he going to get pressured? Here comes Glenn again, 1 of 3 for Mark Johnson then. Joe Fanning saying, you're not going to have it all your own way. Side shot, will he get caught in a pocket? Because Classic Lord, Andrew Balding does so well at Chester. Now Man of Riddles is being asked. Love again, if you Love is Golden, basically. If you're on that one, where are you going to go? Still going well, Batch, is the outside of the lot Military 2-step.
Yeah, not too. It's just about getting.
It is going well.
Just about getting a run now round here.
Man of Riddle, Marc Hryhorskyj will be getting.
Yeah, he's
this is
absolutely
off the
got this
bridle.
bang on,
He's
unless it
hating
picks up.
Oi, says Marc Hryhorskyj. Absolutely should be sitting in this
I
seat.
think the winner might have stolen this.
He might well have stolen this because
stolen
he's
this.
kicked. Military 2-step outpace. Nice horse in the making there. Won't be his day today, we don't think. Side shot goes up the inside then. Oman, first time blinkers. Glenn again trying to come back for some more. Side shot on the inside. Will this be a Rab Havlin winner? Oman going for it. Glenn again over the top. I think he might. Oh, Love is Golden. Absolutely mullered in the back. Here comes Classic Guard. Side shot though has got it. Fair play to our viewer interaction. Just held on. The perfect run around Chester, wasn't it? Side shot. I question his attitude. I was wrong to do so. The consistency has paid the way. My goodness me, was that 4 across the line pretty much, wasn't it? A race you had to be handy in, Matty Batch.
Very handy, yeah. I think it's just a typical Chester race. And you think,
Yeah, of course it was,
You've
yeah.
got to be up there.
Yeah.
If they quicken it like that. My horse was travelling well, never going to get a run, and then got absolutely murdered in the. He was beat anyway, but got absolutely turned sideways.
I suppose the eye catcher late on was Love is Golden Kills, but he lost it from the traps, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he's he looked like he spat the dummy out to start with, didn't he?
Yeah.
He's flew home, hasn't he, on the inside?
Yeah.
We'll definitely see these horses at Glorious Goodwood, you would imagine, won't we?
Yeah, you'd have
Love
thought
is
so.
Golden.
You'd have thought so.
Yeah, they'll have a plan for him. So not today. You get the feeling the war is not lost with that chap. Man of Riddles was disappointed, wasn't it, before we go?
Yeah, I think it's right. He travelled in when they started quickening the pace. Again, might have got it bang on. He's just not the horse from around there, is he?
He looks too big of a horse to
Yeah.
be around there. As you say, they're big horses around them sharp tracks. He's forever changing his leg, can't get on the right lead, and hence why I think he's sort of come wide, so he's trying to give him a little bit of a chance. But yeah, he just didn't look like he enjoyed it around there.
Marc got that one right, as did Hryhorskyj then. The gloating Hryhorskyj, let's go to him.
Yeah, I think even after a furlong, I was sitting pretty. I just didn't think this one had the pace to go forward. And I think we got a bit of value laying that in the place market, just drawn 2. I think would this thing potentially maybe go over hurdles because it looks like a bit of a boat, maybe further down the line.
The word boat has been used for the first time. It's usually Kills that goes for that one.
Slow old boat.
Which is what they call high definition. Who's probably going to go and take out the Irish Derby. Okay, so yeah, all right.
I think I called him a big ungainly boat, didn't I?
Yeah, I think
Which is what he looked like.
Twitter racing Twitter as we call it went into
World champion in September when he.
Yeah, absolutely winning Arcs, Breeders' Cups, they're all coming your way. So look, a lot of those are work in progress. Military 2-step. I'm just going to jump onto that project now. By the way,
Yeah.
He was never a serious player. But you got the feeling this was still about educating horses. So Michael Stout always used to say he would take his green, tricky horses to Chester because they learn so much. Would you agree with that?
Definitely, a horse will come on a bundle. As well, there's young horses round Chester. You need to keep going on your right lead, on the right leg, and round there, you've got to sort of switch on and do it. And as I say, he'll come on a lot for that, definitely.
We have James Millman on the show, don't we, as everyone will know. He's quite hilarious, James. He comes and goes, I hated Chester. He hated riding at Epsom, hated riding at these tricky tracks, hated Ascot because he never got on us good enough. But Chester was the one I remember. He was like, I just hated it. Charlie Post rode a 5-furlong winner around there. Could you believe
really?
Did he? Posted it? Did he?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, so I can't remember the name of the horse now. It was Richard Fahey, because Posty started at Fahey's, of course. He was,
Yeah.
And Wakefield got away and he went over jumps.
We've got Hexham on our screen here at the moment. You ever ridden there?
I've had one trip up there,
Yeah.
Hexham.
Hexham. And do you remember the trainer, Karen George?
Yes.
Yeah.
She had 5 runners up there, and she's one of these people that wanted 5 different people on them. And like the agent went, listen, you ain't going to get 5 different lads. You'll be lucky to find one lad to go up there, Wrexham, to ride all 5. She said, let alone, oh shit, who you got there? And so, oh yeah, Batchelor go up there. I had the most up and down day. I had a winner,
Yeah.
unseated, pulled up, fell, tailed off.
Well, you had a winner though.
I had a winner.
It was a great day then, isn't it?
And I drove. I got home in the car. Drove home. So
How long
every
did
day's a
it
bonus.
take you?
But the
How long
winner.
did it take you to go up
3
there?
days from Brighton.
But they say, I've never been to Hexham, they say it's the most picturesque, one of the most picturesque.
It was foggy. Didn't see a thing.
It was the mizzle was there, as they've been saying in Carvis Bay this week. Oh my goodness me! Summer jumping still does indeed continue. All right, then we've got one more race coming your way on Racing Post Live. It's been fun this afternoon, hasn't it? Have you been having a great time? Let us know what you thought of the panel. Let us know about anything for Kills, Batch, Marc, Hryhorskyj, myself, Dave Orton. Get it in. We're around about 10 minutes only now, just over 10 minutes away from the race of the day. I think we can say that. It's the Pavers Foundation Catherine Memorial Sprint Handicap. It's a Class 2. You often see some really good horses going here. I had it down to 3, would you believe it, out of the 17 runners. We'll find out who they are after Marc Hryhorskyj tells us who's been hot.
Yeah, I think Dart Shifts has been very popular on the sports, but slightly drifting now in the exchange. Skyrunner for Tom Marcon's currently favourite around 6.4. But yeah, I'm going to stick with. I'm going to bet 2 in this race. Going to Dutch 2 for win purposes. We're going to go for Dart Shift, trained by Charlie Hills. Impressive winner at Ascot on debut. Very impressive visually. Unlucky, in my opinion, not still to be unbeaten after being too keen early at Salisbury on second run behind Apollo 1 on soft ground. Back to winning ways at Nottingham next time. Looks open to improvement. I think of a mark of 88. I think this one could still be dangerous. I think this one will win again. I think the good to firm will suit. So that'll be the first one. But and the next one we're going to do is we're going to have we'll do 20. What we'll do is we'll do £30 on Dark Shift, and we'll do £20 on my other selection, which is Bickerstaff. I think the pace is going to be around the higher drawn horses here. Went off 13.8 favourite against Winter Power of all horses, who's off 109 at Ayr Enlisted Company on the 18th of September. Done it well off the pace at Pontefract next time out. Form behind Charlie Appleby's Progressive Creative Force. I think that's solid. That was actually one I took on when I actually done the business last time out, but I think that form's pretty solid. We'll handle today's conditions. So how we'll do this, we'll split the stakes. We'll have £30 on Dark Shift, and we'll have a £20 win on Bickerstaff. It's calling our 26 poke. So if we can get a winner here, we just keep the ball rolling, get some more charity, some more money for Charlie's charity.
Yeah, how's that going today, Marc? Because I sense it's going quite well, isn't it?
Yeah, we've had a few winners. I'll just have to check the profit and loss, and I'll get back to you on that one. I'll just have to log into the account and see what we're saying.
We see n'est pas problème. Okay, let's move on then. I heard you when Bickerstaff was mentioned. This is also you've been mentioning.
I can see him. I can see him going well. I do like Jadwell. I'm a bit baffled by the betting, to be honest, because this is a race with a long history, and it normally goes with a 3-year-old who's got a bit of handicap experience.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, the first 2 in the betting have never run in a handicap. Yes, they've run their novice races. They've looked reasonably good. Dark Shift is drawn trap 2. Now I'm semi-convinced that you don't want to be really low. So I'm going to say I definitely wouldn't want to be on Dark Shift, but I want to be on something with form in a handicap. And this Jadwell, I mean, he seems to be very weak in the market for a horse that ran a close second to Jumpy. They pulled a long way clear of the rest. Jumpy's going to run in the Commonwealth Cup by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And I just think that was a really, really good run. He wants quick ground according to the trainer. I can't see why. He's a bigger price than First Folio. He finished about 5 lengths behind him. Now I know people say First Folio missed the break, but he was a bit slow out of the stalls, but he was fast into stride. So you can't say he lost an awful lot of ground. He certainly didn't lose 5 lengths or anything near it. So I don't understand why that one is shorter than the other. So I'm sticking with Jadwell. I can see Bickerstaff running a big race. I do think he's better than he showed at Newmarket. He was 9th in that race.
Sort of race where you can have a couple of darts kills, isn't it? I think absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I as a tease, I had it down to 3. Jadwell was in there. He's the headline tip for me as well, actually. I'm hoping that Jim Crowley and the late Hamdan Al Maktoum will have a double, thanks to Bashir early on. I think he's too big, but I've got a feeling kills it's because of the seconds next to his name. And it's a Saturday. We don't worry too much about a slide on a Saturday in a big race, do we? As much as we would say on a Monday
not at all.
In a novice race or something like that. I'm not too worried about it. First Folio was the other one. He's drawn on the far side. And Show Along, who was always going to be unsurprisingly near the top of the market. It's just a ground thing with me. Course and distance winner, but I think the Easter Bees have got one that will probably be nearly listed class later on. They're the 3 for me. I didn't like Skyrunner. I wasn't sure about Dark Shift either. I'm with you all the way, Kills. I think you want to have some handicap company, experience going into this. And they're the 3 for me, but definitely Jadwell at the prices is the headline tip for me. And that Newmarket race that you mentioned has been a leading pointer for this over the years.
It has, yeah.
And Rebel at Dawn, who we saw in our first race at Chester, just got nutted, was behind them in that race as well. So it's got substance to it. Bit of a funny race. Some went fast, some went near. So Perotto has come out and won the 4th as well, just behind Jadwell as well. Jim Crowley will do for me. Matty Batch.
I'll go with you. I like Show Along. As you say, soft ground, 5 furlongs winner, but has run over 6 furlongs. 5 furlongs at Thirsk on good to firm ground, and did look like on better ground he'd need a bit further because he does look like he stays a little bit. So Show Along for me. I did like Skyrunner, winner at Donny and Pontefract, an improving type. I did look at Blind Beggar, winner at Catterick last time, but that ground would concern me for him, really.
Interesting. All right, so there's some darts to throw. Let's get some social interaction coming up. First folio for the spotlights as well. Matty Draycott comes back and says, sticking with Easter Beat and Show Along. Good company with Batch. Right pump, wasn't it, at the Chester May meeting? It all went right there, though, that day. And it's Bazza comes on and says, Ben McDwee each way. Ben McDwee. Kills, when I say Ben McDwee to you, what do you think of? He sort of came back to form a little bit. The Ryans thought he would be rating higher than he is now, currently 93. So he's talented.
Yeah, he is talented. He's one of those. He's got to do it now, isn't he? I mean, I thought there was a talented horse called Black Rod, but he didn't run at all well on his return either. So there's a few of those in there like that.
This would be a boost for one of your not outside hopes because he's fancy, but Dragon Symbol beat this guy. Well, senseless really at Hamilton when they met, but
yeah,
you'd be looking for a good run from him.
Well, you would do, yeah. I mean, I do like Dragon Symbol.
The Commonwealth Cup.
Yeah, I think he enhanced his claims big time when he was just beaten at Haydock.
We covered that on this show. And
ground he doesn't want. I think he definitely wants another furlong as well.
Covered more ground than anything else.
Yeah, I think it's a fast ground 5 furlong horse.
He's single figures for that, isn't he? The Commonwealth Cup.
Yeah, I think
so we're not the only ones that know that. Yeah, Archie Watson could be having a winner at Royal Ascot, we think, next week in the Commonwealth. It looks hot, the Commonwealth Cup, though, doesn't it? Proper hot race that is. Has it been one of the best inventions of any race of all time, the Commonwealth Cup?
Yeah, I think it was very much needed, wasn't it? No, I don't see, you can still try these horses over the Guineas trip, but I mean, there are a lot of them, you just know they're not going to stay. I mean, we know they're not going to stay, but, a lot of trainers, if they want to go for something big in the early season with a 3-year-old, they had no chance, choice.
Muhara won it, of course,
exactly.
Charlie Hills having tried to become a Guineas horse.
Yeah, exactly. But now there is actually a sprint program. You can start in the pavilion. You can go to the Sandy Lane. Is it like what I mean? There's races you can go to as a prep for a race over the correct trip for you at Royal Ascot, rather than taking on the older horses straight away.
Yeah.
Right, and then after that you take them on in the July Cup, don't you? Yeah, I think
Dragon Symbol's solid, isn't he? Because you've got Campanelle, last year's Queen Mary winner, of course. Swayzer, at a French horse, best sprinter in France, says James Wigan, racing manager of George Strawbridge. I like her, but she does have to prove herself on the ground. Supremacy still short in the betting. I mean, that could easily be a 33-1 shot on what it showed last time.
On the day, yeah. I mean, it all depends. It all depends on whether we'll find out from the market.
Jumbie's only 14s for it,
Well, yeah, exactly. So it's not. I don't think it looks a particularly deep race. I do think Jumbie's, he was obviously a very well handicapped horse when he won that race at Newmarket. That's why I'm hoping the form will stand up here.
He'd been called a few names, but he definitely dug deep when he saw off Jadwell, didn't he? So look, form boost can come for Royal Ascot next week from our last race, which is around about 4 minutes away. Let's have a look historically at where you were.
Irish horse is a big drifter, isn't it?
Aikido. There was a story about this chap, wasn't there? Because Sam Ewing, the apprentice sensation, in Ireland was coming over for his first British rider.
And he can't
play.
Yeah, of course.
So Shane Kelly is the lucky recipient.
Yeah.
He took it on the chin, Sam. He rode Tiger Roll back on the flat.
Yes, of course he did. Yeah,
Didn't he?
Yeah,
When
yeah.
Tiger
That's
Roll,
right. Yeah.
he's highly regarded. And I'm sure a lot of our viewers will know. I'm just looking for the draw where they usually come in this.
I think the last few years it has been on the low side, isn't it?
Tends to be low
I think
recently.
last side, few years
Family
ago.
are big in oil, weren't they, Sam?
Are they?
Yeah.
In Dallas.
Showing your age there, Batch.
Yeah, I know.
You are showing your age. A lot of viewers will be like,
I meant the new one, Keats. I meant the new one.
Let's have a look for the draw then in this. I finally got it up. I'm delighted to tell you. There's no point in telling you what the base map is because it will be all over the track, won't it? Okay, so yeah, you're right, Kills, actually. All right, so since 2015, single figure draws it has been. The last 5, it has gone that way. Yeah, you can see some really talented horses. Twilight Sun, do you remember a couple of years ago, maintained his unbeaten record of Henry Candy. It's
Well, look, Twilight Sun beat Magical Memory, didn't he? Magical Memory was third, went on to win the Stewards' Cup.
Yes,
Mr. Lupton beat Dancing Star. Dancing Star went on to win the Stewards' Cup.
Yeah.
I think the year Twilight Sun was, his next start was in the Sprint Cup at Haydock, and he was first, and Magical Memory was third again.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So you can get some very, very good sprinters in here. To be honest, I didn't think there was an obvious one for that this year. You have obviously got these novice horses who could be very good.
Only one outright favourite has won this in the last 10 years. That was Body and Soul for Tim Easterby, so Show Along's trainer. It was 7-1 the field that day. Twilight Sun wasn't even favourite that year when he
So
won.
were these split, Kilts, were they? Do you think they're...
I think they'll run down the middle.
Were they, yeah?
I think they'll come off that rail.
Yeah.
I really do. That's why I said I think really low is not where you want to be. But we'll have to wait and see. But just by judging by the way they've been going, and they don't want to be on the rail, the jockeys themselves, do they? I mean, if they thought that was a good fast trip of ground, they'd certainly have tried it.
Yeah.
Through the rest of the meeting, and they haven't done that.
They're going in Marc Hryhorskyj. Who's queuing up where? Come on, where's the late money going?
Yeah, it seems he's coming for dark shift here. It's currently 5.7 to touch around 9-2. The Irish horse is very weak. Aikido, Sam Ewing's Ger Lions. I mean, he wouldn't send him over for nothing. That one was single figure prices earlier on about an hour ago. It's currently trading around 16.5, drifting even more. There's an interesting one actually. It's Uncle Jumbo. This one's usually quite prominent. That's a huge price around 55s. Probably give that if anybody likes a back to lay. I know Graham Rodway was quite sweet on this one on the Racing Post podcast the other day. Bickerstaff, he's in at 20s now, 19, so a wee bit of money for that. But expect them to go quick early. I think the pace will come early from the high draw here. So I'm just hoping Bickerstaff can get a good position early. It'd be a nice winner if that one got in, and I'm sure Charlie would be happy as well.
The lads in the gallery all over Uncle Jumbo, I should say that. They'll be, this is the one where it might just all go completely wrong and someone else will have to press the buttons out there, because if it's 40-1 shot down Walsh and Robley all over this Uncle Jumbo.
Strong favourite, this dark shift now, though, isn't it? It's gone a very strong favourite from Trap 2.
Yeah.
People aren't listening to me.
He's well handicapped potentially on his debut run. Where's Jadwell? He's solid enough. I wouldn't be too worried about Jadwell. What's Jadwell now? Yeah, he's come back in, Jadwell.
Yeah, he's come back in, Jadwell.
He's got him beautifully into the stalls. Just a Kido, I think, to go. Will be absolute scenes in here, no doubt, as we are calling them Seven Brothers. Also Kevin Ryan as well. Kevin Stott on, Barry Orr like that in the Saturday jury in the paper. Around about 6 o'clock tonight, you'll get all, of course, tomorrow's action coming your way. Don't forget the digital edition at 9 p.m. as well. All the interesting quotes. Can't wait to see about Roberto Escobar in particular from Mr. Haggis, exactly where he will be pointing towards. That was the one that confounded us a little bit. Would it be Ebor? Would it be something a little bit more ambitious than that? I say ambitious. It's so valuable, isn't it, the Ebor, that it's the race to win. All right, just one more going in then. Ayor Pitts Maggie is the last one going in there. Great luck wherever you are playing. Let's hope you're cheering the winner of the last 340. It is the Pavers Foundation Catherine Memorial Race, and off we go, and nothing's missed it too badly. Maybe just, I'm trying to see, is that Bickerstaff just slightly maybe a stride slow. Pace on the far side. Look at that. Is that First Folio that's come out rather well there? Oh, he's just off it actually, isn't he? Yeah. On the far side. Fighter Pilot it is from stall 1.
They've come down a bit. They've ignored the far rail completely.
Kido's up there. Ayor Pitts Maggie is there. Looking for Jadwell. He's there as well. Some of the bigger players. Where's Dark Shot Kills? Right out the back.
Dark Shot.
Right out the
Dark
back.
Shot. It's not
He's
Dark
an 8-year-old.
Shift.
He's an
Dark
8-year-old.
Shift even.
Dark Shot's not running today, Dave.
Jadwell's.
Mine's in Jersey already.
Come on,
Okay,
Jadwell.
I'm jumping
Oh,
on
I'm
the
having
near
a shout
side.
here. Come on,
He looks
Jadwell.
pretty Dark Shift is the one. Is he going to come from last to first?
Come on, Jim.
Jadwell's absolutely.
Come on, Jim.
Come on, Keels. Let's give this a shout.
Come
You
on,
get
Jim.
Going, Jim.
Smash him up.
Kicked him.
Come
Here
on,
we
pick
go.
up.
Show
Let's
along
pick a
bang in
start
there
as
as well.
well.
First folio bang in there as well.
Come on,
he's
Jim.
He's in front. First folio's there. Don't tell me Jadwell's going to be second again, as he looks like he is. He's not going to catch first folio. This is form reverse from Newmarket last time. Jadwell running a fair race.
folio.
It looks like on the far side that is going to be. Is that Black Rod in second? I'm not sure.
Black Rods, yeah.
Black Rod.
Black Rod.
Black Rod in second. Show Along was up there as well for a long way. I was looking for Dark Shot. Of course,
He's not running.
he's somewhere in the dark at the moment. He's not running. Hey up, it's Mattie. It was the
8-year-old
pace angle.
furlong
Held on in
sprinter.
third. Kills, we thought we had it. Didn't we?
I thought I had it then. I really did. I really did think. I wonder what price he went.
He
Along was-
must have been short. He's the only one.
Let's find out
travelling.
from Marc Hryhorskyj then. Dark Shift definitely
Really
was
didn't.
running, and he definitely got too far back.
Yeah, that one looked beat very early on. Dark Shift. Yeah, I think he was a double-figure price after a furlong. I'm not sure what happened there. But yeah, I think the other selection, Bickerstaff, ran quite a good race. And once you that one actually hit 5.9 in running there from a BSP. I think so. Late money. That's went off 16 to 1 in the end. So that one was certainly backed. First folio, the winner. That one was a BSP of 10.5. I'm just trying to find out what price that one's went. It's not really went above. Yeah, he's won well. He's been matched 17.5 for £16, but nothing massive. But certainly had the race won. Jadwell, it's a tricky character. I mean, that one's traded as low as 3.3 for small money. BSP of 8.65. But yeah, maybe one to take a chance on maybe next time out. But yeah, it looked a decent race.
First folio then, owners group, isn't it? This guy, they've got all the jump sources as well. And when this last ran at Newmarket, I know a guy who's they've got so many, spread around syndicate, isn't it? It's an easy syndicate to get into. They can give you a big winner. James Ferguson, good to see a big Saturday winner for him from the low draw. He said to me, my dad was told to get on this when it won at Yarmouth. He didn't have a penny on it. It was a big price. It was like, oh,
Right,
no.
yeah, no, he's
He said,
done.
should I be doing it at Newmarket? Of course, he's fallen out, but this is a horse, obviously. You can see why they were recommending it.
Yeah, he's travelled really well, hasn't he? Do you think Jadwell's worth a go at 5?
Oh, I was going to say 7.
No, he travels, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Just doesn't
He
fly,
travels.
Kills, does he? That's
I don't
my-
know.
my thing.
I don't know, but they try to hold on to him. Look at him travelling
he's
there.
nothing's travelled better, bar the winner, than Jadwell, is it? In the run. Show Along was there, Batch.
Yeah, I thought he was coming to put his master the sword, whatever they call it.
Nail his master the sword.
We've had some lines in here.
Right there, there.
That was not one you'll be taking with you, Batch, I can tell you that. While Batch tries to do that, there's a lot of things you can
Whatever
do.
he's trying to
Great
do,
one,
it
that.
didn't work. Whatever he's trying
Dark
to do.
Shift looks like he wants to get back on soft ground to me. I've got the name right there. I was giggling, girls, because I said Dark Shot to you, and you went,
Yeah, Dark Shot. Hang on, he's an 8-year-old sprinter. It's not Epsom, is it?
he's probably at Southwell, isn't he, for the final meeting? Oh, don't tell me about that. All right,
Tried
so
over 5 kilts, wouldn't you?
I'd have a go over 5 with him, yeah.
But
He's
unlike
fast.
some of the horses, latest generation, etc., that I wasn't sure whether that is a project, obviously, Jadwell, you're going to keep with.
Yeah, I keep with that. I won't give up the latest generation either. I just want to say, right, why don't we make the running with him? I don't think, he's a horse that races keen, but when he actually races, he doesn't do anything that quickly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To get him out in front, like, if he's not going to settle, he's not going to settle behind, he's not going to settle in front, doesn't matter. But if you can not settle and finish the way he's ended up finishing, you can win from the front with him, sure.
We're thinking of doing a segment.
Next time.
Yeah, or just get closer to the lead than you were.
We're thinking of doing a segment with Graham Rodway called Poke the Bear, because we can get him out. With you, it should be Get Your Goat, because that has got your goat, Kills, hasn't it? Get Kills his goat.
The
All right,
trainer was telling me to get my coat, I think. So there
you
you go.
can definitely get your goat in a minute, because we're coming towards the end of Racing Post Live here. What a weekend it's been. When they're fun when they fly by. Marc Hryhorskyj, you've been on form today. Great to have you back.
Yeah, we got a couple of winners. I was looking at the profit and loss. We recorded a small profit on the day, which is good. Obviously, give Barry Orr some ammunition to play with at Royal Ascot. And obviously, I've had on a personal one, I had it right off with Mana Riddle, so I'll chuck a donation in for Charlie's charity as well. So I'll ping that over after this episode. But yeah, no, it's been great. Always a pleasure to represent Betfair on Racing Post Live.
Cheers, Mark. You can down the drones now, and if that's a painting, I'm a Dutchman, let me tell you, absolutely. Not a joke. Whether Kills could paint it or not, I don't know. Kills, been great to have you back on.
Yeah, no,
We're
it's
going to
good
get
fun.
you back in here during the summer, isn't it?
Yeah,
I can tell
exactly,
you've
yeah.
enjoyed yourself.
Yeah, I have. Yeah, it's good laugh at it.
Yeah, great stuff. And it's always good to have Batch in between us, isn't it? Batch, brilliant to have you. When are you going back to Jersey then?
That's on the 25th, back over there. Busy week this week. Got another cup final.
And people can see you at Brighton Racecourse on Tuesday,
Races,
can't they?
yeah, Tuesday, yeah.
Doing a bit of the MCing down there.
We've won 2 cup finals already, Dave.
Have you now?
Yes, 2 out of the 5 are up. Big up to the Rottingdean village, so going to go and complete the 5-timer.
Happy days. I'm sure we'll all be watching that. All right, well, listen, thanks to the guys on the panel. Thanks to you for watching. Thanks to the boys in the gallery. Not quite to be for them in the last race. And don't forget, join us on Tuesday. Royal Ascot, we're covering it all live here on RP Live.